What's up? What's up? Yeah, we chilling in the snow post Turkey Day. Let's get the intro started, baby.
Come on down to the holler,
Got W in the
babe,
house. Got Michaelis
where
in the
the
house.
creek runs
What's up,
red and
Michael?
the whiskey's aged. Moonshine mud and the midnight chase. The way we roll is just the way it is. Down in the sticks, back in the woods, secrets buried in the roots.
One of my
A hard way to live when you're dealing with the devil's hand.
Bobby B.
Shotgun sitting in the back of my truck,
Hey, yo, Bobby, you like this
baptized in a bloodhound hunt.
one? What's up, El Fuego?
Bare feet, knee deep in the mud. Oh Lord, it's just the way it is. Down in the stick,
What's up, Frank?
back in the wood, secrets buried in the roots. A hard way to live when you're dealing with the devil's hand. Y'all can stay away, y'all can stay away. Y'all can stay away.
What's up, baby? What's up, guys? Oh, yeah, okay. You want to shoot me some pics, Bobby? All right, buddy. Let's see here. Michaelis is in the house. Longtime friend of mine. He lives up in Utah right now. He's up there making all the money. Supposed to come see me, but I don't know. He keeps having life stuff come up. I guess. Yeah. We all deal with that stuff. Yo, Mike. El Fuego's in here. Bobby's in here. Dubby's in here. And all you guys have showed up tonight. It is a wonderful Friday evening on the 28th, day after Turkey Day. I had meatloaf. And my wife went grocery shopping today, of all days, but only because tomorrow is supposed to be a catastrophic rain filled, cold ass mess. So she decided she would rather deal with the crowd as deal with that. So she went shopping and she brought me home a bunch of damn sweets and stuff, man. I'm like, come on, man. I don't know. I can't resist this stuff. It's like, you trying to kill me or what? She brought me home some strawberry cheesecake ice cream and some strawberry cheesecake. I'm like, I like to have a little bit of ice cream in the fridge, but I don't know. Don't enable my ass. I don't need it. Yeah, I figure so much, Mike. Uh, Bobby said he's going to shoot me some questions, some pictures. He wants to ask me some questions. So I'll have that available for him over here. Because Bobby's build is pretty cool, and he brings a lot to the table. That song I was playing was one of my older ones. That was from a couple months ago. I've been getting better and better at this. Like, I don't know, I can't really. It's hard to play anything. I mean, it's not copyrighted because it's mine, but getting to it can be tricky. So I'll let you guys work up some questions. So I know you got some. And I'm going to mess with this for a minute. There we go. I want to see if I've got. Let's see. And Mike, by the way, I'm on all the major streaming services all over the world now. How about that shit? I'm still blown away by that. Just blown away by that. Like literally, I'm on streaming services that are literally only available in other countries. Just let that shit sink in. And I still can't type. Save my life. There's that asshole. Yeah, I got a new track I'm going to play for you guys. Hang on just a second. I'll play a little of it. You guys tell me what you think. Oh, okay. Frank's asking about opticals versus RCAs to DSP. The logic would tell you that the optical is the superior connection, but as long as you're not picking up any dirt on the RCAs, you're literally not going to be able to tell the difference. But that was a big quote, a big asterisk, if you will. RCAs are generally designed to allow in noise. Most of them will to some degree. And whereas since a digital signal is merely a light pulse, there's nowhere for light to come in. And so it works really well to send data over extremely long distances. Basically fiber optics. And Michaelis could tell you about fiber optics. They can carry a whole lot more information and a whole lot faster and more accurately. But the question is, how much information, how fast, and how accurate do you have to be to run music? Well, not all that much, really. And RCAs are perfectly capable of it. If you've got a digital output from your head unit and you've got a digital input to your DSP, then use it. But also there is a catch to the digital path. The optical path is there's only 2 channels. So if you're wanting to run 4 channels from your radio to your DSP, you can't. You can only run a stereo pair over optical. So it's a lot of little things. Check out this. Hang on a second here. Video. Why am I so bad at this? So terrible at this. I do this so badly. Andy makes this shit look easy. He makes it look easy. And I just blow it. Totally blow it. All right. Let me check and make sure I have audio. Hopefully I do. And check out a little bit of this new track, guys.
Get rolling. Get rolling. Get rolling.
Shoot here.
Slide out the driveway. Sun gun sitting low. Clean ride fresh, yeah, we ready to go. Hit the street, turn in, every head on sight. Chrome rims spinning like they glow in the night. Got the team lined up, big builds on point. And we're breaking glass all around the joint. Those speakers crystal, mids feeling alive. Bass drops hard when them voice cords fry. Bass in the back, got the trunk on lean. Whole block watch when we hit the scene. Old heads nodding, they know.
Y'all give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Every time we ride, cruising with the crew, no drama tonight. Just laughs, good talk.
It's kind of a 90s groove.
Summer air thick with the feel good heat. Thunder rolling in and we're cracking the street. Get rolling, get rolling, get rolling. Cruise slow, let the whole block low. Get rolling, get rolling, get rolling.
So what do y'all think about that? I know it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but just a little something, something. This watch band. No, I had the same guy that made. Hang on a second. I'm a big fan of well-crafted stuff, so I this is my wallet right here. This thing, and I had this made by a guy like 15 years ago, 12 or 15 years ago. It's got my ID in the front. It's got little pockets. It's got a little zipper here to hold the dead presidents inside. But the main thing is it's got this loop at the top and these two loops at the bottom. It's made out of this like kangaroo leather. It's really, really soft and really pliable. It's really, really rugged. And I wanted something I could wear around my neck and not have to worry about losing my wallet. And I can wear it around my neck and also stick it in my pocket at the same time. Or I can pull the leash off and put it in my pocket and put a chain on it, carry it biker style. I got options, but that same guy made this watch band for me about a year later, and it'll allow me to put different watches on it, and I've had it for a long time. It's comfortable, and it don't bother my arm like most watch bands do. So yeah, I did not make it. I've done some leather working, but I'm not nowhere near that good. Thank you, Maximus. But yeah, who is it? Toshiba Link. Toshiba come up with that optical link, and they that's where they got the name Toslink. It's from Toshiba, and they come up with that like, oh man, don't give me the line on the exact date, but it was a long damn time ago. It was probably at least in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, I don't know. It was a long time ago they came up with that, and it was specific to Toshiba, and it was a way to connect one component to another. The problem with all that kind of stuff is in order for it to be applicable and marketable, everybody has to agree on that specific type of connection. That's why we still use RCAs. We still use the generic USB plug, which was based on the Type 1 or Type 2. And it just keeps going because so many companies are making components that use that. In order to get everybody to change over to a different kind of port or different kind of plug, it's a certifiable nightmare. And when you have a massive infrastructure like car audio, where you've got thousands of different manufacturers and companies that are creating thousands of different products that all use the same interface, trying to get them all to change. Yeah. And when RCAs actually do the job, just get good RCAs, man, like the seismic ones that I showed you guys the other night. Or you can use Cat 6 or Cat 7 and build your own RCAs, because Cat 7 is triple shielded and Cat 6 is double shielded. Nothing's getting in there. You can make your own RCAs. You can make a whole 4 set of RCAs on one Cat 7 cable and have triple shielding. Like, you can literally wrap that around an electric motor 100 times and it wouldn't pick up anything from it. And that's the worst possible environment. So Yeah, if you got it, use it. If you don't got it, don't go buying it thinking it's going to improve your setup, because it's not. Unless you're getting a bunch of noise on your RCAs, you're not going to see anything gained from that, and you're going to lose two potential channels. Oh man, you guys are cutting up again. I see. Let me see here. Uh, Thank you, Michael. Sounds good and smooth. He said. Uh, W says, "See, is there a place that makes bass knob potentiometers with just a long run of RCA? I need to redo my Funko Pop bass knob. I need a long run to hide the connections." The best place to get a good bass knob is to get the large pots that are designed for guitars to do the volume knob on a guitar. Not the dime pots, the little cheap ones, but the large ones, like Fender branded or Gibson branded stuff, is going to give you a good slope, and it's not going to pick up a bunch of noise. Um, that's what you want to use. And it's literally just two wires. So you can make that into anything. It's just two wires. It's a positive off the center and then a negative off the case of the pot. And you can create that and run it as far as you want. But be sure you're using a shielded cable that you're going to run it through. That's really super important. You want to run to the knob and back away from the knob with a very, very solidly shielded cable to keep any electromagnetic interference from uh, joining your signal and piggybacking on it, because that's annoying. It makes for a very noisy, terrible environment. Uh, W kangaroo leather pants. He probably does. He probably has pet wallabies and shit. Like they don't really care for kangaroos and down there, from what I understand. They're more like a big giant rat. Uh, Koala suede. Well, the rawhide is really stretchy and tough. It's thin, soft, and really tough. So it's used a lot for making whips and stuff here. When you make a really good quality whip, and I like it for wallets, any kind of leather. I like it. I like that the kangaroo leather for everything. It's just kind of pricey. I'm not making that trucker money anymore. Uh, let's see here. I'm not getting noise or anything. The main issue is RCA length. It's ugly being short and showing the RCA characters. Ah, yeah, I get you. Uh, well, I already told you what to do. Get some Cat 7. You can run one piece of Cat 7 cable and then and run your signal to the knob and back away from the knob over one cable. It's all the way as far as you want to go. I mean, you can get Cat 7 in thousands of feet. So however far you want to go, it can be, and it can be very small in one long piece. Um, what was you going to send me, Bobby? I was looking for it. I never saw it come in, buddy. You're slacking. Bobby's slacking. You're probably back out there to play with the goats. Let's see here. Uh, no harrowing allowed in here. I don't know. No harassment. Yeah, don't harass. Bobby will show you the door, or I will. Really? I had never had roux meat. They say it's not great, but yeah, it's funny. Over here in the states, the kangaroo is like this amazing thing, and in Australia, from what I understand, they're just big giant pests. Um, it's weird how that changes. Kind of like a deer, I guess. A deer can be a pest if you got them. Deer will bring ticks into your yard real bad, man. If a deer is out in your yard, you'll get tons and tons of ticks off of them. But the meat's better, I bet, than the kangaroo meat is. Scar allowed, but only one scar user. Closet scar dudes. Uh, oh, I imagine. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a few. You know, I got some scar tweeters on my shelf in there, but I think they're both blown. I can't remember if they're good or not. Well, you could try my trick, man. Uh, with deer meat, I just take the deer meat, put it in a pot, hot water, and I boil it in hot water on the stove and I boil it until the water turns red. Then I dump that water out and refill it, and then boil it again on a very low. Also, when I say boil it, I mean just kind of on low heat, and then get all the blood out of the meat. Keep doing that until the water stays pretty much clear. Then let it sit up there and rest with water out of it, drain the water out of it, and then you fill up your pot with your stew fixings, and make a stew. Usually tenderizes it pretty good. Just and gets all that gaminess out. Most of that's in the blood taste, man. That's where you get most of that taste is blood. So when you get all the blood out, it typically tastes a little more meat like. He said you could turn it into ash; it'd still taste gamey. I imagine. Uh, yeah, we got critters like that here too. Some, especially an old buck. Old buck tastes like it's hard to eat the meat off an old buck, man. They're pretty much roost too. Kobe said it's pretty much pointless to try to eat that stuff. You got to be a hungry son of a bitch. Let me tell you. I mean, you can eat anything if you're hungry enough. And but I imagine killing them rascals probably ain't all that easy. They're pretty quick. They bounce around. They'll punch you in the head. uh, no, we got Troy's trunk wall finished up mostly, and we got the back shelf done. We used plywood and glue and what you call a package tray or the rear deck, whatever you want to call it. We used a half-inch plywood, a couple pieces of that, and PL3 to create a solid deck to prevent flex because he had some big old holes back there from 6x9 holes and a big old amplifier hole, big old square amplifier hole. We had to get creative because the amplifier hole, the metal was stamped in the upwards position, so it was raised. So I had to build up some pieces on both sides of it and glue them down and then glue down the piece on top. And I wanted to keep the overall thickness low enough to where we could get the rest of the trim and stuff back in place and keep it looking stock once it was all put back together. But I think we managed that. And that car has zero external noise. I mean, all you hear is the bass coming out of the car. It sounds amazing. So yeah, I was really pleased with how that turned out. And we got his tweeters put back in. We had some tweeters in there, but it's complicated. The shit was all hooked up wrong, so the tweeters ended up blowing. One of them did. We got those replaced, and we got everything hooked up right now. I've got a really basic tune on it, and without having any time alignment done or any phase correction or anything like that or any EQ correction done, it already sounds real good. I mean, it sounds real good at really loud volumes or at very quiet volumes. The car is very balanced. The system, the foundation of this system is really solid. That's when you've got it going right. Is whenever all the EQs are flat, the time alignment's dead, everything is in its neutral position, and it already sounds great. that means that you've done all of the foundational stuff correct. And we've got the foundation of that car nailed. So it's going to really sound good. Let's see here. The indigenous people would roast the tails and nothing else. Oh, well, that sounds interesting. So the tail must be something edible. El Fuego says, why are so many truckers into car audio? It's a lot of reasons. You know, that's a good question. Um, that's a really good question. And there's a lot of stuff that happens like that. Certain groups of people tend to be into certain other things as a whole. It's like, it's probably the extra money. One of the reasons might be the extra money, or it could be that the same personality traits that wind you up being a truck driver also wind you up being into car audio. Or, you know, a lot of truck drivers are into hot rods and stuff like that. So maybe it has something to do with cars. They choose to drive because they like to drive and they can drive and make money. And I don't know. It's kind of an interesting question, though. But that's a very true statement. I had a lot of truck driving friends that were into it. And you spend a lot, when you're on the road, you spend a lot of time listening to the radio. I mean, tons and tons. And you don't listen to music as much. I listened to a lot of audiobooks when I was driving. I would find audiobooks that were like 9 or 10 hours long, and then I could listen to that book for one drive shift, the whole book in one drive shift. And I have about 12 or 1,300 books on my thing. So, yeah, I've got a lot of audiobooks. But we also listen to music and like to crank it, you know. So you got all this extra space around in there, you know, you can put subwoofer in there, you get into it. So, yeah, it's an interesting question, though. There's some correlations. I'm not sure which way they go, though, whether truck drivers tend to like car audio or car audio guys want to drive a truck or what, you know. Uh, yes, absolutely. 100%. And you basically want sound quality when you're driving a truck because you want to be able to understand everything. And a truck is actually, you would think it wouldn't be a friendly place for good car audio. That's wrong. That large cab actually makes a great space to build a really nice car audio. So it's a very suitable place to do it. Uh, I am a cabinet worker. I am not. I yeah. I just where my skills come from was drywall. Spending lots of years cutting drywall and putting it in weird places. I got my I got my measurement skills wrapping casing out windows and casing doors and casing weird locations like circle windows and triangular windows and all these weird window shapes that for a long time in Memphis where everything was getting cased, which means there's no window seal or frame. It's just wrapped in drywall all the way up to the glass. So you have to case that window with drywall, which means you got to cut all these little tiny pieces and that's what I did. So that was one of my niches on my team was I ended up getting all those special little projects. Like one, we had to wrap a dome. We had this, it was a church for this company called Church Builders. And we were making this dome that went from the front door out to in the parking lot. It was maybe 60 foot long and it was probably 10 or 12 foot wide. And it had a full half circle like this that followed the whole roof. And we had to hang drywall in there. So I had to use 2 layers of 1/4 inch drywall. And I took the drywall and laid it on top of a sawhorse with the ends hanging off and then soaked it down with a water hose and got it sopping wet. And in the sun, the drywall would start to droop around the sawhorse until the ends would touch the ground and it'd put this shape of a bow in it. And then you could just about perfectly fit that up in there. So we put in sheet. And then we went back and I cut in a half sheet. So I had joints in different spots going back the other direction. So we had overlapping joints. It kind of helps kill off all the little problems. And then you bed it in, float it in, sand it in, finish it. And it looks like concrete arch, 60 foot long. Hell of a project, but I learned how to do a lot of creative cutting doing that. Troy, aka the beard trick guy. Yes, it is. And it's only getting better. We got plans. We got plans. Outlaw going for death bonds. You can't go wrong with the 300, those 300 series subs. They're solid. And the price isn't terrible either. Um, I'd put them right alongside the Oblivion version 2s. I think that they're very, very similar in power handling. They're similar in ability, and they're pretty similar in price. So yeah, they're excellent subs. I wouldn't go to the 3012s and the 3015s. I don't like those. I don't like that upper level because they're not as good of a sub. They're definitely not worth their money, and they're definitely not that great of a sub. There's a lot better options. But the 300 series, those are good subs. There's Troy in the house. My spoiler is still flexing. Not as bad, though. I think that's flexing from like the whole body flexing. I haven't seen that. It don't make any noise, though. Debbie said, hell no. Explodes all the way. He said he removed his spoiler for that reason. Sound cube did not. Let's see. Plug the holes with rubber grommets. Oh, I got you. Yeah. That's cool. What's up, Stu? Stu's Custom Shop. Stu is in the house. Stu, did he ever get back to you on that? Or did you get a confirmation? You got the order confirmation. Hopefully you got your swag is coming. I put in a good word for you, man. Thought I heard someone say my name, Stu said. Let's see here. Yes. Juice and Colby crying also. Don't know. Stu B. Not hard to make me cry. Always hire out drywall and plumbing. No, man, it's not hard. Well, no, it's not. It's not hard if you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you're going to botch it all to hell. So it's like painting. Painting's not hard, like painting pictures and stuff. If you know how to paint. If you don't, it's impossible. So yeah, I say that. I mean, technically, I'm a master drywaller, though I haven't done drywall work in an extremely long time. And I would be rusty and dusty and gusty trying to do it. But I did manage to achieve that level. Remember last time you said garbage to me? See, I ain't never said that. Must be somebody else you're talking about. I don't like those terms. Okay, dry your eye. Here comes your mother. Those two little guys. Mother stepped up, said to me, hi. Looked Sally in the face and decked her in the eye. Punched her in the belly, stepped on her feet, slammed the bitch on the hard concrete. The bitch was strong. The kid was gone. Something was wrong. I said, what is going on? I tried to break it up. I said, stop it. Leave her. Shit, if I can't have you, she can't either. She grabbed me closely by her side, so I broke the hell out like I had the chicken pox. But she gave chase. She caught up quick. She put her finger in the face of MC Rick. Why don't you give me I can do the whole rap, guys. I won't stop, though. Don't cry. Dry your eye. Yeah, I catch it, bro. I love me some Slick Rick. Let's see. Garbage is people too. November Rain. Oh, man, I don't know that one. Rebase that song? It's all beatbox, man. I don't even know if it's possible to rebase that and make it sound good. That's all freaking Dougie Fresh, and I can't beatbox. Let's see here. Ew, Stew. Wrong song. How much wire is needed to power an amp with dual inputs? How much wire with dual inputs? Well, you need dual power and dual ground wires. Um, and it's, think of it like this. Yeah, it's, I need more information, and but I can help you. I can help you with that. I just don't have enough information. But you're going to need to use all of your inputs. If it's got dual inputs, odds are it's dual alt gauge. So you're going to need to use two alt gauge inputs on power and ground, because the amount of amperage that you're pulling is too much for a single run of alt gauge power and ground. So they make it a dual input to carry the current for that amplifier. Also, in most cases, amplifiers' power circuits on that end of the amplifier are actually using the wire leaving out of the amplifier as part of the cooling system. It's basically like a heat sink to help get power out of that cooling section of that power section of that amplifier. So it's part of the structure of the amplifier. You definitely want to use both, or else you're going to wind up burning stuff up. Sending you millimeter rule for Christmas. He needs a micrometer, like a yardstick long micrometer. It's blasphemy. Metric. Hell yeah, dude. Kobe's foot box. Rue prints. I don't even know what's going on here. It's all that they aren't shipping until January. Ouch. That sucks badly. I don't know. Stay in touch with him. That may have been an automatic thing. It may not be what really happens. Burning wood, he said. Is that what it's called whenever you forget the lubricant? Dummy. Drywall A-pillars. I don't think that's a good idea. Wants me to rebase that song. If the amp has dual power inputs, you're pretty much going to need 0 gauge to each input. Yeah. However, your battery times 2 needs 7 feet. Tell me about it. What's the difference between 1 ohm and 2 ohm stable? Okay. What's the difference in 1 ohm and 2 ohm stable? If an amp is 1 ohm stable, that means that it can run a static load as low as 1 ohm of resistance. So whenever you put a subwoofer on there that's wired to something close to 1 ohm, it could be like 0.08 to 1.2 or 3. That's considered 1 ohm resistive load. And when your subwoofer starts playing, it's actually going to have a higher ohm load, but the amp is rated to the resistive load. And 2 ohm stable amp, it'll only go down to 2 ohms. So you can't run a 1 ohm load, static load, on a 2 ohm stable amp, or it will most likely shut off as soon as you start playing music. Let's see here. Frank Byrne. I burn all my wood for extra XQ bass. Apparently Bobby burns his wood too. Be right back, Stu says. That seals the wood. It actually does. A funny thing. Burning wood actually is a good way to make it weatherproof. That said, you got to burn it a lot. not just a little light. It basically needs to be black when you're done. It needs to have a micro layer of charcoal on the outside of it. It's got to be pretty much black when you're done with it for that to actually be a thing. But a lot of guys that run plywood enclosures like to burn them to get that look. It's not my jam, but I get it. So burning wood, see a doctor quick. Oh yeah, man. Charcoal SQ. Yeah, you can absolutely make wood weatherproof or highly weather resistant, like by burning it. But like I said, you got to pretty much put a black. It needs to be black when you get done. So you burn it until you can't see with the wood no more. It's just charred black. And then you got wood that can pretty much resist all kinds of shit. That was common to build with burnt wood back in the day. CSQ. You guys are a hoot. But yeah, the next thing we're going to do is get in there and do a proper tune in this car. I want to do time alignment so we can experience what actual time alignment sounds like. Having everything positioning correctly, because that's going to blow his freaking mind. When it gets that effect, that's going to blow his mind. And I'm also going to do a RTA where I measure peak noise and run an RTA and get the basic perceived sound to be mostly flat-ish in the driver position. I don't never push it to a hard line. I just take away most of the peaks and pull up the valleys a little bit and drop the peaks a little bit to get the overall curve to be more or less smooth transitions. So you don't have any spikes. That gives you an overall good sound. And then you can tailor the sound to your liking using your local EQ later. But you want all that flat whenever you're balancing out the speakers. You're wanting to generate an image at your seat that sees both speakers as being the same distance from your head and playing the same tones and the same range and the same frequency responses and the same volume level, like they're this right here, when they're actually different. So that using the DSP, you can make that speaker come in and you can put them right here. And then once you get that done, you can go back in there and you can tweak the EQ and set it for how you want it to sound overall in the vehicle. It's really fun to get a tune going, but it's not usually quick. And then it's not really easy. It's one of those, your ears get very tired by the time you're done. Very, very tired. CSQ. Stu says, so here's the thought. Every company in the world is making sound deadener these days. What do you guys think the next sound treatment to hit the mainstream market should be to hit the mainstream market? Well, okay. Frank says butyl rope. For your suspended enclosure. You know what? I mean, here's the thing. Sound treatment. This butyl sound treatment has become the go-to for everything. And it makes the market happy because it's relatively inexpensive to produce. And these guys are making a killing off of it. But it's not the be-all, end-all, man. You could do all this stuff so much cheaper in so many different ways. All you got to do is load mass on the panel and you stop the vibration. I don't care how you do that. You could do that with silly putty. You could do it with lead. You could do it with plastic. You could do it melting a piece of plastic to a metal panel. Absolutely will kill the resonance in that panel. Sticking a nasty baby diaper on it will do it too. Using 50,000 layers of duct tape will also do it. It's not complicated. You just have to put something against that metal and make it stick that makes the metal not vibrate whenever the bass hits. That's it. Stop it from going tink. Make the bell not ring anymore. That's all. Just make the bell stop ringing. Um, Getting a message from our team leader. Anyway, so when it comes to sound deadening, anything works, man. You can glue strips of plywood to a piece of metal, and that'll work. I mean, it doesn't matter what you use. They're going to sell you guys whatever you're willing to buy, and they're going to charge you for it whatever you're willing to pay. That's it. These companies don't give a shit about whether or not it's good or whether it makes sense, whether it's practical. It's how easy it is for them to ship, sell, manufacture, and how much money they can make off of it. That's what drives them to do what they do. So yes, it's handy in certain situations, but good grief, man. You can use anything to make a sound deadener. You could glue a piece of rubber to the wall. That's absolutely going to work, and probably work even much, much better than some of that expensive stuff. Don't fall for the hype. It's all about making money. You don't mean anything to these companies. All they want is your money, for real. Butyl rope for your suspended enclosure. STU, constrained layer dampening. He doesn't need a DSP if he has an epicenter. That's not the same thing, brother. An epicenter and a DSP are really two completely different things. You can get some DSPs have a bass restorer built into them, but your epicenter doesn't have a DSP built into it at all. I could go deep into that, but there's a lot to that. They're not the same thing. So yes, horsehair mixed with epoxy. Sure, that'll work. The epoxy will work by itself. It don't matter. Anything stuck to that metal to make it not vibrate, make it not ring. You don't want it to ring. You want it to go. You want it to be dead. You want it to sound like that. You don't want it to go ding, ding, ding when you hit it. That's the whole point. If you make that happen, then you have deadened that metal. CAE to epicenter or not to epicenter? That depends on. See, I listen to rebase music, so I do the epicenter thing to the music. If you listen to rebase stuff, then you don't need an epicenter because it's just going to make it all messed up. I epicenter my music and then I just run it in that way. There are certain situations where an epicenter or a bass restoration device is great. For me, it doesn't work. So it kind of depends on what you do and how you roll and what you listen to. If you listen to a lot of 80s rock and stuff like that, an epicenter is going to be a godsend for you. But learn how to use it. Learn how to set it up properly and use it properly. If you listen to music that doesn't have a lot of bass in it and you want the bass, an epicenter is what you want. If you typically listen to anything that's from the 1995 and up, you're not going to get much out of an epicenter. Just saying. I love to see mass loaded vinyl come back. Sure. Absolutely, man. And it takes mass to stop sound. You have to turn the sound wave into heat to stop it. So if the sound wave can move the thing, it's turning it into mechanical energy, right? So think of it this way. Like a drum, you have a beater and a resonator, okay? Your beater head, where you slap it with the drumstick, causes a sound wave to happen inside the drum. That pushes on the resonator. and that sound carries through the drum on the resonator. Now, that resonator is turning that energy, that sound energy is hitting it into mechanical energy by moving, and it's reproducing that sound on the outside. So you're getting sounds getting through. To make it soundproof, you got to turn the sound into heat instead of mechanical energy. So by making this resonator head on the drum, the back head on the drum, really dense or heavy where it doesn't have the ability to vibrate, then that sound wave hits it, but it can't move it, so it just gets turned into heat like a microwave. And yes, if you play a lot of sound, loud sound up against a material that can't vibrate for a bit of time, you can shoot it with a heat gun and see a hot spot on that material. It will literally get warm. And that is how you stop sound. You turn it into heat. Actually, I need to make horse poop deadener. That'd be a fun one. You know, a lot of countries use animal manure to build houses, straw houses, and they mix in horse and cow and buffalo and whatever poop they have with the mud and the poop and some straw, and they mix it and they build like shit bricks to build their house, thatch housing. So I guess it's probably got some sound resistant properties to it. It's dense, it's heavy, it ain't going to vibrate. So yeah, horse poop could be sound deadener. How you like that? MLB is great on the floor. Let's see. The loser, what's up, man? I was reading a Butyl sound deadening comparison. Amazon Basics brand deaden a couple are dB better than I don't know what Dynamite is. It's probably a typo. Amazon Basics deadener is for your money is a pretty good buy. I've recommended it many times. For your money, if you want that butyl based stuff, if you want that sheet stuff, Amazon Basics is a great choice. It's better than a lot of the competitors that are similarly priced. So Kobe said I put rubber on the Kika box for the boat. I guess you meant kicker. I don't know. I put rubber, bubble wrap. Bubble wrap. I don't know about bubble wrap, man. That's pretty tough. I know. I'm aware it was a joke. See, I find a challenge in the joke. Throwing a joke out there, I find a challenge in that. It's like, I know it's a joke. Let's see if I can actually work with that, though. Dynamite Extreme, yeah, still has as much better adhesive than Amazon Basics. I don't know. Heat gun makes anything stick. See, VR30 says, how's it going? How much does RCA voltage matter? Sir, that's a can of worms. Depends on who you ask. Asking me, I prefer higher voltage on my RCAs. And I'll tell you why. The amount of noise in your environment that RCA is going to pick up, that's going to add to that signal, that noise is a constant. Okay. It's the same amount in your environment, whatever it is. What's the variable is how much voltage you're sending down that wire. If you're sending 1 or 2 volts down that wire and you've got set amount of noise jumping on that wire, you're going to have a very noticeable amount of noise on your signal to noise ratio. You get it? The signal to noise. The hotter the signal, the lower the signal to noise ratio is. You got more signal, less noise. If you have less signal with the same amount of noise, now your ratio is wonky. You have more noise. That's literally how that works. Exactly how that works. So higher voltage is better as long as you're staying within the voltage range that the amplifier can safely accept. That's the key. Happy Friday chat. What's up, man? And Matt Litchfield, 221. The Beach Boys need an epicenter. Trying to think. I would say probably yes, because pretty much anything recorded before the late 80s on vinyl is going to be the lowest notes that you're going to ever see is like 60 hertz. They didn't record real bass back then because it didn't work on a vinyl machine. By the time tape started becoming the mainstream recording media, that's when we started getting lower bass notes being recorded. Prior to that, like Another One Bites the Dust, it's like 80 hertz, that bass note. When it goes, it's an 80 hertz note. 80 hertz. My sub don't even start playing until much lower than that. Is what it is. Hell yeah. Let's see here. Better adhesive, yes. But my heat gun makes it stick. Hell yeah, brother. Any deading is better than none. Yeah, I'd say so. Kobe, you're just trying to figure out how to make some money of his money back on them damn horses. Dynamite. Gary, whoa, hello. Gary's looking like he just got done welding 2 miles north of pipe. 2 miles worth of pipe. Hell yeah, you like my little thingamajigger? I figured I'd be colorful today. See, it kind of matches Jeff back there in the background. And, let's get her done, man. Breaking out, bust out the welding gear. I never learned to do that. I got to learn to weld. I poked a stick at a few things in my life and stuck some metal together, but that's not welding. I need to learn. Evening red. Let's see here. 100% so can you imagine how many amps speakers I would buy? Let's see. Moscone Pro 830. Kobe Lane. Plus amps aren't as heavy as hay. Okay. You guys keep me lost all the time. We went into the single digits. How many people here running block off plates on their doors? I've got to think about that one. Block off plates on their doors. Are you talking about behind the speaker hole, like the speaker? Or am I missing? Oh wait, I think you're talking about them little. Maybe I don't know what you're talking about. Elaborate, Stu. You left me hanging there, my friend. Give me some better information. Red Pill says my block off plates is a sheet of kill mat. Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. Is the speaker cutout. I prefer telling people, look, if you're not going to build custom, how many layers you're wanting to go deep to get your doors hot, So if you're wanting to stick with a factory look, you're going to want to sound deaden, if possible, both sides of that metal that your speaker mounts to, and also the metal outside on the outside skin of the door. So you want to go inside there and deaden from the back and deaden from the front. Then mount your speaker to the thing, and then get those foam rings that set in there around your speaker and connect that speaker to the plastic part of the inner door. Put those in, because holy cow, do those make a difference. I tested this a while back. I did some tests. It's on YouTube. Look it up. Those rings make a tremendous difference. They absolutely make a huge difference. I had no idea how much of a difference they made. But if you're wanting to get even more balls in your door, then you can cover that hole completely up, both sides, and put yourself a kind of custom speaker pods in. When you do that, you want to take this deadening material, this butyl, and wrap it up inside the pods where the pod connects to the plastic of the door. Just go crazy. wrap it all around the corners and group it around the outsides of it and make that just a one solid hard thing. Um, and it sounds phenomenal when you get it right. That's what we got. That's what we got in this car we're working on. Beyond that, it's custom doors. Um, oh, gravy till you got to replace the window motor. Dixie paper plates, Kobe said. Uh, okay, thanks. I appreciate it. I need to purchase a device to boost my voltage. Any recommendations? Audio control LC1. Uh, there's quite a few of them. What you do is on Amazon, look for a line driver. That's the term you want to look for, a line driver. Um, and find something that way. You can get the one I used to use. I had a little 7-band EQ that looked kind of like the little power boosters from the 80s. And they still make these. And it's got different knobs on them for different frequencies. And it's got a power remote and a ground to turn it on. It's got a subwoofer control on it. And it'll have a little on and off button to where you can kill it. And it boosts your voltage up. And there's a gain knob on there that you can adjust how much voltage you're sending out of it. And it's got this nice little EQ. It's a very inexpensive way to have a knob EQ and a line level booster at the same time. If you're trying to stay in a budget range, that's an excellent solution. But almost all DSPs will boost your voltage. And same way with the B2. It puts out 4 volts per channel. So you're going to get a solid 4 volts of output. Just pick up the B2 DSP, and then you've killed so many stones at one time. Discount code CAE over at B2 USA. I recommend buying it at B2 USA. So I don't think Big Jeff will take the code on that device. Or he takes it, but it doesn't actually knock money off of it. Over at B2 USA, it will. Cover the holes with a sheet of metal, Gary, behind the panel. There you go. Meant blocking off the extra holes in the inner door skin to seal up doors. Oh, okay. Yeah, and same thing. Sound deadener works. I mean, you're not creating enough pressure in there that you're going to move that deadener very much. So, if you really wanted to get crazy, you could drop in there with. I've used 1/4 inch. I have a name for it, but I can't remember what it's called. It's basically mostly finished piece of plywood, but it's 1/4 inch thick. I use that for all kind of stuff like that. It'll take the water pretty good. It'll bend and shape pretty good. You can cut it with a knife if you have to. It's super easy to work with. It holds glue well. Everything. It holds everything well. It's a very, very, very versatile piece of material to build custom stuff like that. So you could build in a plate. You pull off that plastic that comes with it and pull that off and use that to cut your shape for your plate and then put the plate in there. And then you could glue in behind it, or you could use like shoe goo. Shoe goo is a glue. It's very strong glue, but it is defeatable. So you can rip it back apart if you have to, but it's very strong in the medium. So you could use that, globs of that to hold it in place. All kinds of options. You just got to think your way through the problem. It's my amateur tip. Do not put polyfill on your window channel. Yes, that's a terrible idea. That will absolutely lead you to down the path of destruction. Stu. Let's see here. Use the foam rings. They really help. You better believe it. They absolutely do. Does too. But you lose all the sound out of the stuck window. You guys are all nuts. Yes, the driver boost RCA voltage. Polyfill allows the sound wave kind of like a bigger box. Slows the sound wave. Do you know how that works? See, that's one of those terms that people use. They say, oh yeah, it slows down the sound wave. But do you really understand that, or are you just saying what you already heard someone else say? I ask that in the kindest way possible. Um, I hear those things like that, and I'm like, well, but how does that work? I want to understand that. So I do research, and that's what it does: is it turns it into heat. So as that sound wave is trying to move through there, it's turning the sound into heat, and that's absorbing some of that sound. And so when it finally gets to the other side of the box, it's a smaller amount than it was, and it acts like the box was a little larger. And yes, the more you pack in there, the denser that material is, the more heat it will turn into. Um, Stu is sending me pictures. Hang on a second. Let me check out what Stu sent. Okay, yeah. Oh, he's getting jiggy with it. He's getting very jiggy with it. Let's go see if we can see what's going on over here. That's not it. Let's try this. Hold on a second. Because I am not up to Andy's skill level, not even close. But I'm getting a little bit better. I don't want to brag. Don't want to brag. And why did that not work? Because I just did it. See, I started bragging. That's when I screwed up. Let's try it again. It probably did work. Y'all probably laughing at me right now. They're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. All right, let's do that. And it didn't work again. I don't know. Hang on. Let's try this. I am terrible at this, Bobby. Stu, everybody. Wait, I think that's what it was. Hey, we did it. Look at that. Would you just look at it? It's too bad Andy's not here. He would definitely be looking at it. This is a door. And I'm looking at it because I hadn't looked at it real good until I got it up on the screen here. Got the wires secured. The window, the little door latchy thing is doing its thing. I'm not sure. I think he's built some metal plates here, it looks like. Some kind of metal plates and blocked off something there. Getting all the holes closed up. So he made a nice little chamber. I like it. That's rocking. Let's go back and see what else we got. That's the other side. Yes, he did both sides because that's how my boy rolls out there. He does them both. He gives them equal treatment. He's an equal opportunity door skinner. He made a mess. Look at that. And that was something he did too, guys. He did all kinds of cool stuff. So, yeah, see, that's that little football thing right there. That has a little bracket that fits in this hole. And it holds a sort of a 6x9, but it's not really a 6x9. And it's got a bracket that fits in that hole, the little slot, and it goes down here, and there's a screw. One screw that holds that damn thing on. And if you want to put a 6x9 in there, you got to be real creative. But yeah, cool beans, man. 2000 Silverado. Oh yeah. I've been in those doors before. You can make that if you pull that plate that you take out of that hole, that football, and draw it out. You can make it out of like a 1/4 inch PLA and build a real nice little sticker mount for that. But don't use wood unless it's plywood. Yeah, don't use wood. See, that's me talking from experience. Oh, hell. Somebody's bringing the ducks. Hell yeah. I love it. I don't even have tacos ready tonight. Ain't that a grind shame? Welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome to the show. Dubs versus Biggest Jeff. Hey, y'all, so y'all noticed Jeff was losing weight. Jeff's losing weight and he's putting on some muscle. My boy's starting to look like he might get ready to kick someone's ass. I'm impressed. Um, let's see. Stu said, actually, inside an enclosure, it works by adding mass to the air. Yeah, okay, fair. Same concept. It makes heat. Uh, do I ride? We're going to get into that. Do I ride? I don't have half the stuff in here that I used to have. No, I had, if you guys watched some of my older videos, you would see a big old Yamahachi out there sitting in the driveway. I rode for a long time. My legs are weak and pathetic. Um, and I have a balance issue that randomly comes on. And so between legs that are kind of like spaghetti noodles and balance that's inconsistent, I shouldn't be on a bike for any length of time. So I don't no more. Yeah, I have. I put some miles on bikes, dirt bikes, street bikes. I even got my ass on a Busa one day and flipped it over backwards. So there's a story behind that too. um, used sheet lead in my doors. Lead is excellent. Lead is excellent. It's got multiple properties that work great. The only downside with lead is it's heavy as shit, but it's excellent for all of this stuff because it literally has such an incredibly low resonant frequency that it's not going to vibrate under any circumstances. I used sheet lead in my doors. Just sent a couple of pics since you got dual monitors back up and running. That's the material you're using is behind those. That's actually lead. Killer. But yeah, you can do the whole interior of your vehicle with lead, but gotta be heavy. I mean, Superman wouldn't be able to see your underwear anymore, but you know. Troy. You want to got my DAP? Yep, he said DAP. I suppose that could be a digital audio processor, sure. When I got my DSP, Big Jeff didn't have a spot for the CAE code, so I went to B2. To get it, I used the used shoe glue on my skateboard shoes back in my younger days. Shoe glue is awesome stuff, man. That's one of those tools. It's not really a tool, it's a material, but shoe glue, SHOGOO, I believe, is one of those things you want in your go box because it can solve so many problems. I love using that stuff for all kinds of stuff. Adam Sandler. Okay, now I know what. Come on, Adam Sandler. I don't know what that was referencing. Probably some stupid shit I said. Yeah, I loaded my Boss Audio 4-inch motorcycle speakers with polyfill. It sounded like a boiled egg. I don't know how you know what a boiled egg sounds like. Wait, that's a door? Oh, that one. Yeah. They're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to. Yeah, I did say that earlier, didn't I? they're all going to laugh at you. Get me singing the Lunch Lady song. Stu's doors are sounding sick already. Hell yeah. Working on a 6x9 conversion kit for 9906 GM trucks. Sweet. Frank's house, Red Pill. I love the GMT 800 door panels. So much room for activities. Red only drawback is the lift off door panels. I actually prefer like the mid 2000s Ford F-150 door panels. Those things are so easy to get on and off, and they kind of work like a big truck door, whereas you can take the speaker out of the door without taking the door panel off the door. That's cool. They got those little hooks, so you just hang them and put a screw in. No body clips to break. I love those door panels. I can't really block off those holes. 12 pounds mount, yeah. It's very heavy. I just use 1/16. Comes in at 2 pounds per square foot. Hell yeah, it does that up quick. Let's see here. I'm from the 80s. We used paint chips instead. Yep, only one's as easy as GM lifts off. Adam Sandler's best CD. Yeah, I get caught pulling liners out of that, and my wife looks at me like I've lost my freaking mind whenever I'm like, "Fuck me in the goat ass." Like something about that stupid goat, that talking goat. That was just one of those lines. Where he says, "Fuck me in the goat ass," and she has no idea what the hell that reference is, and just looks at me like I'm crazy. Sloppy Joe, sloppy. Yeah, that's it. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe. Oh man, they're all going to laugh at you. Adam Sandler's funny son of a bitch. I watched. I'll give you guys some cool ones to look up though. Steve Martin, Comedy Is Not Pretty. That's a good one. Eddie Murphy, Raw is a good one. And Bud Fletcher, Another Trip to the Outhouse. That's a good one. Find Medium Pace. I don't know that one. Hoagies and Grinders. Hoagies and Grinders. Yeah. I can't remember Medium Pace. I don't know what that is. Not drawing a blank. But yeah, one you guys may not have ever heard of is Bud Fletcher, Another Trip to the Outhouse. That cat's funny as hell, dude. You may know of the other ones, but that one I bet you don't know, and you're going to get a kick out of it. Yeah, it's a little spicy. It's not terrible. You can get away with listening to it with the kids around because it's mostly not words so much as subject matter. Anybody else got any conundrums they want to throw out there? Hoagies and Grinders. I can't play it. It's copywritten, man. That freaking record company would flip out if I played it. Yeah, Ron White's good, man, for real. I can listen to his ass quite a bit. I worked in multiple theaters in Branson, Missouri, and one of those is the Grand Palace when it was still the Grand Palace, and I got to meet a lot of people. So, I mean, I can't believe the amount of famous people that I've shook hands with in my life. I look back on it to this day and it still blows my freaking mind, you know. Yeah, that's us, brother. That's us, 100%. Um, but I met Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson at the same time, and they were both high. I did not partake, but Joan Jett's band at the fairgrounds. I was working with a carnival at that time, and at a state fair, I forget what fair it was. I think it was maybe Mississippi, but Joan Jett was there. Her band got in the Gravitron. I was in the Gravitron. We had just got the Gravitron set up, and I worked games, but I kind of hung out with the guys that put the rides up. And we just got the thing set up. And we are about to do the test spin, and we had the whole band in there. They were going to ride it on the test spin. And I got in there with them, and yeah, they passed around a bowl, and we all got stoned on the Gravitron with Joan Jett's band. That was cool. We've had so much. I've had so much fun, and I've met so many cool people. I played golf with Joe Diffie, country singer, and we were playing with sticks and walnuts behind his tour bus. We took our heel and dug holes in the ground, and we were using sticks and walnuts as golf balls. Yeah, Joe Diffie's another crazy son of a bitch. Let's see here. Let's test that, Frank. He said, remove your DSP, please. Let's see here. At what level do you feel like people need to start playing rebase music and buy rebase music? Is that for a daily rider, for demos only? If you like lots and lots of bass and you like specific type of music that doesn't normally have lots and lots of bass, rebase music is for you. Anybody can play it as long as your system can support it. If you got a box that's tuned at 26 hertz or 28 hertz and you want to play some 24, 25, 26 hertz bass, you're not going to get that anywhere else except for rebase music. So that's who. But you got to be able to reproduce it. If you don't have the system to reproduce it, then it's not going to give you anything. Yes. Willie Nelson is probably the king of pot smoking on the entire planet. That dude can light up a joint and smoke constantly all day, and you'll never even know he's got a buzz at all. He just lives. His body requires pot to operate. It ain't that it makes him high. He's normal. That's where his normal is. So yeah, you can't outsmoke Willie. Nobody can outsmoke Willie. Willie don't smoke no more. No. I don't know about that. I don't know. He's like 92 now, I think, or 93. You guys know the guy from, what's his name now? I can't remember his name. The guy that played a lot was Mary Poppins. The one that danced and was a chimney sweep, you know? This guy, that guy, the dancing guy, can't think of his name. He's still alive. He's like 99 years old. Somebody else say his name. No, you're not drunk enough. Let's see here. But does Willie use an epicenter? Probably. Let's see here. Rebased all day, every day, full tilt is my preference. Yeah, I'm with you, Troy. Grand Ole Opry, not the same since Epicenter. You guys are all mental, and I love it. You guys know about Hank the Third? If you don't know about him, you might want to check him out. Hank 3. He looks and sounds just like his grandpa. At least he did when he was younger. He actually does mostly rock and roll and metal and stuff like that. But he still occasionally would perform as his grandpa. And he looks dead nuts like Hank Williams, the original Hank Williams, and sounds just like him. I mean, it's scary how close he is. But he is absolutely not in that genre. He's a completely different genre. He just does that because he can. Makes money, you know. Green stuff. Got to have the green stuff. Any more questions, guys? Grand Ole Opry. We should make an exciter for car audio. Get them tweets playing 50K. Woo. Oh, Hank 3's a son of a bitch, man. Yeah, he's crazy. He's like I said, he's like his grandpa in that he's a nut, but he has completely different musical tastes than his grandpa or his dad. And on the same note, though, he can perform his grandpa's stuff perfectly, like amazingly good. He performed on the Opry multiple times, and people were all just floored at how much he looked and sounded like his grandpa. Really cool stuff. No, we covered that. Pay attention. Trying to leave? I'm not leaving, man. I got to keep you guys going. I don't have anything to talk about unless you guys are asking questions. I don't write a script, man. I don't have a script. I just sit down and go live, and that's how it goes. We just do it, you know. If I run out of shit to talk about, we're done. Other than that, I have to take a break every once in a while to go pee because I'm an old man on pee pills. But, you know. Y'all are mental, man. Now, I ain't got nothing going on right now. I've been watching the metrics. I got to figure out something to do tomorrow. Today was a cheap day because I'm doing a live show, so it was a little easier for me. I didn't have to come up with a video today. I usually put up something every day. You guys ask questions. I'm going to take a little break and run to the bathroom, and I'll be back here in a minute.
Hit the chill back and you stand up, stand up. Start to move your body with your hands up, hands up. Rock it to and fro while they coming through the door. Now they leaning on the bar with the cans up, cans up. Hit the flow fast and you back up, back up. DJ got it lit, turn the track up, track up. Moving side to side, feel the rhythm start to ride. Now they stepping to the beat, never slack. Just how low can you go? Can you go? Can you drop it right down to the floor, to the floor? With a body like a demon, make the men start screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know. Ooh, how far down can you go? Can you go? Can you lay it right down on the floor, on the floor? With the body like a demon and the men still screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know, let them know, let them know, let them know, let them know. Lights turn low when they line up, line up. Shorty got the vibe, time to wind up, wind up. Everybody moving when the bass line hit, and the whole damn place gonna bind up, bind up. Bass hit hard and they jump up, jump up. Hands in the air, let it pump up, pump up. Moving left and right when the hook come tight. Everybody in the house shit. Just how low can you go? Can you go? Can you drop it right down to the floor, to the floor? With a body like a demon, make the men start screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know. Ooh, how far down can you go? Can you go? Can you lay it right down on the floor, on the floor? With the body like a demon and the men still screaming. Then you turn to the crowd, let them know, let them know, let them know.
All right. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. The hell are y'all trying to sell? Let's see here. Go back. CAE. All right. We'll start out with W's question. I'm reloaded. I've reloaded, Dubby. Yeah, baby. Got some Rue juice. I got to meet a bunch of Australians when I was working with the carnival. They bought a lot of rides. This one carnival, it was an Australian carnival, come over and bought a lot of rides in the U.S. And those guys, just a bunch of regular guys, I'm gonna tell you, man, Aussies are crazy and cool. I had a lot of fun hanging out with those guys. I got a yellow light. Come on in the car. That sucks, brother. You need to put some tape over that shit. Um, Wife probably waving in the background. Nope. She's in bed. She goes to bed at like 6 o'clock or 7. It's between 6 and 7 every day, and wakes up at 4 in the morning every day. My wife's crazy. I always love when people ask, "Is this and this the same thing?" Exactly. Exactly. Dub CAE says you need a DSP. Yes, that's correct. Is the clip light on your tar amps, Debbie? On, please attend. Discount code CAE. Yeah, baby. That works everywhere except for Trunk Thunder Lithium. It's CAE 10 there. Check this out, guys. I went and grabbed this while I was out. Look at this monster. This absolute monster right here of a mid-range, a 6.5. Look at the beef in this. Push terminals, big fat magnet, big old pole venting. This is a slap 6.5. Absolute beast of a speaker. Look at this thing. It's got Sony leads, dude. This mid's got Sony freaking leads. I mean, this is nasty. This is a monster little driver. An absolute monster of a driver. And it's $52 a pair for two. You get this thing, this beast of a 6.5, two of them for $52. If you use discount code CAE, you get 10% off of that. You can't beat that anywhere. What will that do? Let's go have a look. Let's go. Let's go over here. Is that the right thing? That's not the right thing. What did y'all break it? I had it fixed a minute ago. I think it was probably Dubby. Dubby come over here and broke the damn operation. There we go. So what does it do? It's an 8-ohm driver. Don't let that bother you. Trust me on that one. 200 watt RMS driver. A 200 watt real power handling driver. 6.5. Polycotton. Where'd it go here? 89 dB sensitivity. 110 to 5300 kilohertz. It will play much lower than that. I had them set at 80 hertz, and they were doing it just fine with more power than that on them. A 1.5-inch voice coil, polycotton surround emerald design, 100 millimeter ferrite ring. This is all your Till Small perimeters. You can see right here, it's suitable for free air environment. Of course it is. I mean, it does a mid-range. 3.7 pounds. It's almost 4 pounds of driver. And they are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Beastly little 6.5s. If you guys are wanting to get loud as hell, they're an excellent choice. Absolutely excellent choice. Especially for $52 for a pair, for two. Show me that deal anywhere else. Anywhere else. Oh yeah, Troy, if you manage to blow those recoils, yeah. Those are excellent drivers too. I picked those out for you because they're solid. I like them. And I think they stack up pretty good to these. These will handle more power. It is what it is. Anyway, Let's see here. I got to figure out where I was at. I lost track. Lights in the engine bay. An Audison Virtuoso. And know anyone that wants a new Audison Virtuoso or a Bit One high res DSP? I don't know. Somebody in chat may. I got a V2 up here that I guarantee you performs just as well as both of them does. You're getting one of those is simply because you want your DSP to say Audison on it. That's really it. Um, I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Technology is better now, and it doesn't take that much money to make the same thing. I've played with some god level DSPs, absolute god level DSPs, and all the stuff in the middle. And it's all about features and reliability and interface. They all ultimately sound the same. Um, yeah, that's truth. I say if I'm not clipping, I'm not on. Uh, it means not loud. Who is this? Uh, who is on team no rear fill? I'm definitely on that team. Let's see here. Team no refill. Hell yeah. Frank's on team. Dubs want. So are you a team rear fill or team no rear fill? That's the question. Yeah, you can get the B2 at Big Jeff or B2 USA. It's like $160. With my discount code, you knock some more off of there. It's really inexpensive and it's phenomenal DSP. This one's been on now for months and months back here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what I use for all of my audio in this room. This and that little mini 160.4 amplifier, that plays my big old subwoofer over there and my two mids and highs. And that stuff stays on all day long, all night long, 7 days a week, running off of two batteries and a battery charger back over here. I want nothing to do with that witchery DSP stuff. Yeah, you say that until you do. It's freaking nice, dude. Like, I can tell you like this. Imagine if you have all the amplifiers that have all the little stuff, little controls on them that you can adjust on every amplifier. Now imagine you have all of that in your lap instead of on the amplifiers, where you can sit down in the car and listen to the music and adjust those things right there in front of you, as well as a whole lot more stuff. That's what a DSP does for you. It's huge. W wants no rear fill. Troy said we can start putting some wood in my trunk tomorrow. I could even get Christian to help. Also, if you want, I don't have any more wire, but we could start filling the corners up. The only problem with tomorrow is going to be a freaking winter monsoon, and I'm not getting out in the rain to do no shit. And it's not only is it going to be wet, but it's also going to be cold as hell. That's a combination of shit that I ain't going to have no part of. So we're probably stuck until the middle of the week or something. Just ain't going to do it. Do I know any Aussians? I don't know what an Aussians? Aussians? I don't know. If you're talking about Australians, I don't know, but I don't know what Aussians is. I could be wrong about that. I am an ignorant American, so 9 DSP. Oh, let me say, uh, change my plans. Figure something out. Let's see here. She's party. I know, right? It's a hell of a little driver, dude. Yeah, that's a 6.5. What you doing with that little hole? I was giving it the beans, man. You know, if it ain't excited, you gotta excite it. Yeah, it'll almost fit my thumb. I have to stretch it a little bit, but that's a big old cooling hole back there. Look at that. It's got the little side vents. It's got the center vent. It's freaking nasty, dude. And one of the things I like is the push pins. You ain't trying to deal with them spades. Freaking nasty little speaker, man. I love them. 4 pounds. They ain't light. Uh, yeah, I know, right? I keep telling y'all that. I keep telling y'all that. You ain't listening. You ain't listening. Here's the price. Pair. $52.99. Right there. Now let's do this. Let's do something else here. Hang on a second. Let's add to cart. Let's go to the shopping cart. See what's in this cart right now. Right now we got what we got in this cart, man. I ain't even looked in here. Um, let's pull the cart up because I've been adding stuff to the cart, messing around on videos and stuff. I've got a Slaps V2 Smackdown in here, and I've got the 8-inch. Got an 8 ohm. Yeah, I got the 6.5-inch 8 ohm 1 point. Got a pair of those, and I got a Shock 2K.4 in here. So we're setting at $782.97. Let's do this. Let's put in CAE, and then let's go back to I agree. Okay, see what that changed to. So right there, that dropped from 782 to 704, just like that, using the CAE code. So, I mean, you're not going to beat these prices, guys. That's a 2,000 watt, 500 by 4 amplifier. Yeah, 500 by 4. So it's got 4 channels, 500 watts per channel for $229. A wicked 15 for $500. 3,000 watt RMS. This is not a combo that I would buy, but I'm just showing you what the price is. And we knocked off $78 using my discount code. All you got to do is run over here and grab some stuff, man. Get nasty. I mean, if you can look through here, this right here is one of my favorite amplifiers of all time. And this is that little guy that's hanging on the wall behind me. This little dude right here. It's $109. It's 160 watts by 4. It's powering a 12. It was powering a 15-inch sub and 2 6.5 components or coaxials. And it rocks out in this room. You guys can ask Troy about it. He'll tell you. You can pick this guy up for $109, carry a small system off of that by itself. You could run a small, like a 10-inch driver in a box and a couple of 6.5s in a car, and it would absolutely run the whole car. But inexpensive. You can get this big 8,000 watt amp for $350. With the addition of my discount code, you save even more off of that. That's a crazy amplifier for $349, 8,000 watts, and it's a real 8,000 watt amplifier. Uh, I'm running in my Tahoe right now doing stupid stuff. These guys, 300 bucks. The Slaps Oblivion V215s, 2,000 watt RMS. I've got 4,000 watts on them right now, RMS, on each one of the four that are in my wall. This thing down here is the equivalent of a lot of really big boy stuff. These are big boy subs. These compete with a lot of Sundown's mid-tier stuff. And the price range on them is a whole lot better than the stuff they compete with. If you want big mids and highs, you check out what I'm running in my door right now, which is a set of these. They're $100 a piece. This magnet right here is like 8 inches across. And that is a 10-inch driver. And that magnet really is looking like that. The thing is huge. It weighs like 20 pounds. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's giant. And it is extremely high powered, extremely loud. 1,000 watt RMS, 3-inch voice coil mid range for $100. That says 500 watts RMS. My bad. I just want to see how much the thing weighs. I know it's heavy. I've had to put them in my doors a couple of times. Yeah, they're 14.3 pounds a piece. A 14-pound mid-range. Absolutely bonkers these things are. We ain't joking about this. This is some serious gear, guys. Serious gear and serious prices. T. Corley just popped in. He's like, oh, I missed it. I'm still here, man. I ain't left yet. Let me go down through here and see what I missed in the chat thingamajigger. 9 DSP 9. Oops, it broke. That's funny. Look, Teramps. Yeah, don't mess with that 30K. That 30K is a dangerous amplifier. Get 215s if you're going to go that route. If I blow my door speakers, I'll get those. Yeah, I don't think you're going to blow those, but I'll absolutely hook you up, man. Yeah, I know, right? It's heavy. Those mid-bass drivers are getting out of hand. Almost need to put a monoblock on each one. You could. You absolutely could. You could throw I got a 1,200 watt Sundown amp over there that would be good for mid-bass drivers, I reckon. Or whatever you want to put on it. 2-channel open, looking to add mid basses to the front stage for the price. Yeah, you can't beat them. Is my B2 for sale? Oh, I told you about that. Jason's Garden, my mid bass. Team all Phil. Stu said, I'm on team no rear fill right now. Working on a brainchild that may end up happening in the Tahoe one day. Reverb. All right, so if you're wanting to do rear fill, let's talk about that. It's a tricky business to get that to work. You need a special DSP. What you have to do, I got to get this right in my head. I understand it, but getting it out of my mouth is sometimes tricky. You take the left and right signal and you cut everything. See, how's this work? So the left and right are going to be a different signal, right? You want to cut everything that's not on both channels. Or you want to cut everything that is on both channels. And the stuff that's not on both channels, that little extra bit, the little peak over here that's not common among both channels, and the peak over here, you take that and send it to your rear channels. And that will give you a pretty good approximation of surround. And but you're going to naturally do that when you're playing music anyway. What you're doing is amplifying or artificially reproducing the acoustic effect of sound naturally. That's the only way you can run rear field besides running true surround sound and have it make any sense. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I have a hard time explaining it. You want to take all the stuff that's common between the left and right channel, get rid of that, and the stuff that's left, you want to send it to the back channels. And there's a way to do that on certain DSPs. Why, thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir. Can I have another? I'd like another. We all sound like we're pushing dubs to make a hit on the playground. Take a hit on the playground. Get on the monkey bars. Hell yeah. And I agree with that 100%, man. Like I said, you build the foundation first. You get all the mechanical bits in place. You put all the parts and pieces together to create the right environment to start with. Then use a DSP to tie up the loose ends that you can't fix mechanically. That's my philosophy. I want to get as close as I can to perfect without any digital signal processing and doing the build to get there. The closer you can get without having to do any tuning, the better. And right now with Troy's car, I've got everything flat, dead flat. The EQs are all flat. There's nothing. It sounds great. So I know that when we put a little bit of time into it, into tuning it, it's going to go to an extremely high level. I'm going to be very impressed with that. Yeah. And I kind of agree with that, but not entirely. Depends on the system, and you can get away without it. We did for years, but it sure sounds better whenever you can process your sound. So I kind of agree, but I kind of don't entirely agree. Fix all the wrongs, upgrade crap components. Yep. Oh yeah, and live sound. Yeah, you can't do anything. It'll be a train wreck without processing. Um, China, spit on that thing, Hawk. Toot. Toot. Let's see here. So Stu said 8 ohms, so you could run 4 per door and make it 1 ohm. I think the math is right on that. I'm not going to do it. You've already done it in your head. Yeah. Um, and I'm going to tell you guys, here's the thing. Let's say you got an amp and you hook it up on a 4 ohm speaker, and then you take the same amp, everything the same, and then turn around and hook it up on an 8 ohm speaker. The difference in volume that you're going to hear is very, very little. So don't let the fact that it's 8 ohms bother you. It really does not matter at all. On mids and highs. Matters on subwoofers, but not on mids and highs. Oh yeah. The Troy bass song. I should have made that into a video. I could play it. I made Troy. I might be able to. I don't know if it'll work or not. Let's see if I can play it. Hang on a second. I don't know if this will work or not. Man, Troy was working on it today. It may. Okay. Wait a minute a second. We're gonna play Troy's song. A little of it anyway. Hush. Hush over there. You hush. You're not ready yet. Uh, there we go. Let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let me flip on my thing so I can see.
Old man Troy with the long gray beard. Pulls up slow, everybody disappear. 08 Chevy sitting low in the back. 212's about to launch an attack. Slap AK, got the cabin on fire. Mini one since it keep the mids wide high. B2 DSP, tuned tight like a spell. Gandalf a bass. You shall not fail. To record 6.5s and each door scream. Tweeters from DSA Nate make the high nose beam. Trunk wild built like a concrete beast. One demo hit and the noise don't cease. Gandalf riding the Impala, dropping thunder when he holler. Troy don't flex, he turns a knob unless it's swallow. From the lows to the highs, every lane feel the quake. That old man magic make the whole block shake. Gandalf in the Impala, trunk wild like Valhalla. Every build he touch, man, it booms a little harder. If you're feeling brave enough, stepping for the test. Troy's got the kind of bass that'll rattle your chest. Hey, pull to the meat and the crowd gets still. Troy's got bass that can bend your wheels. Death Bounce twins got the trunk on lock. Hit 28 AIDS and your heart might stop. Yo, recoils punch with the door wide swinging. When the yes stay tweeters like a choir just singing. Slap Sam blow like a forge in the night. When Troy drops low, everything feels right. He's the wizard of the waveform, keeper of the sound. Gray beard flowing while he shakes up the town. Old man cool with the young man soul. Only thing louder is the stories. Gained a ride in the Impala, dropping thunder when he holler. Troy don't flex, he turns the knob and lets it swallow. From the lows to the highs, every lane feel the quake. That old man magic make the whole block shake. Gandalf in the Impala, trunk ball like Valhalla. Every build he touch, man, it booms a little harder. If you feeling brave enough, stepping for the test. Troy's got the kind of bass that'll rattle your chest.
What do y'all think? Y'all like that? Let's see here. T. Corley said I had a question earlier today. I was thinking about next live, but I don't remember now. Well, then your brain failed you. You need more Diet Coke. I may need more Diet Coke before it's all said and done. Thanks, Stu. Let's see here. Got to make post-it notes. Although, okay. Thoughts on running mids and highs on a full bridge and compared to an extra. You can run them. You can do it as long as the power matches up. That works fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can run them on any. You can run. If the subwoofer amp, if a 8,000 watt subwoofer amp doesn't have a built-in low pass that's always on, you could run it on a tweeter. As long as the tweeter can handle 8,000 watts, or as long as you turn that amp down to the point to where the tweeter can handle it, it'll absolutely run a tweeter. I got a friend that runs. He runs all his mids and highs off of 8,000 watt Sundown full bridge amplifiers. He runs a mono system. He runs 6 of those amps on his 6 subs, his 615s, and his 4th wall, B-pillar wall. And then he runs 1 amp for all of his tweeters, 1 8K for a bunch of tweeters, and 1 8K for a bunch of mids. That's how he runs his whole system, off of monoblock full bridge amplifiers. So you can absolutely do that. It's just not ideal if you're trying to do stereo imaging and shit. You can also run subs off of 4 channels. You can do, I mean, all that stuff is interchangeable as long as it doesn't have a filter that prevents it from playing the frequency you're trying to play. It'll absolutely work. We already covered the rear fill thing. Differential rear fairs, what they call that. Yeah. And that's what you want if you're going to run rear fill and you don't have a true surround sound set up. I mean, simulated surround sound, that's basically kind of what it does, is kind of do a differential rear fill. But if you just run in stereo to 4 channels, it's going to screw up your imaging. It's just not. You're only going to get about 30% of the sound from the back. You know, Focus on your front stage because you're going to pull all your sound to the rear and it's going to mess up the sound field anyway. Now, growing up, cars we had back in the day, 70s, late 70s and 80s model cars, they almost exclusively had 6x9s in the rear deck and then either a couple of little fours or something up front in the doors or maybe in the dash. You had a 4-speaker system, front to rear fade, left to right, balance, a bass and a treble knob, a volume knob, and a tuning knob, and that was it. Um, and you had to make that work. So if you wanted bass, it had to come from the back. And coming from that generation, I grew up with sound coming from all around me. And that was kind of cool in itself. It sounded like you were in a car, not like you were in a concert. But once you get used to running the front stage and working on front stage and not doing rear fill, it's a game changing concept. You get a whole different experience in car audio. It sounds like you're sitting at a table at a concert or in the bleachers at a concert or at a bar or wherever the music's actually being played. It sounds like you're there instead of being in a car. So while being in a car is kind of cool in its own regard, it's nice being able to have that front stage in front of you and experience that. It's a different experience. Let's see what Patrick's saying about rear fill. Bandpass 200 to 2K, gain negative 8 dB, and time delay 20 to 30. That's a very dodgy way to make it kind of sort of sound interesting. But I can get where you're going with that. It wouldn't be for me, but I get where you're going with that. You're creating essentially an echo behind you. Yeah, that's doable. I get that. That's going to give you that stadium kind of a sound. I get it. Not for me though, but I do understand what you're trying to say. Look at the fit tonight. You're ready to do some welding. Hell yeah, man. I'm ready to go. Anybody want to send me a welder? I'll absolutely. You know what I want? I want a bench grinder. I'm going to set me up a piece of plywood and mount me a little small bench grinder. I don't want a big one. I just want a small one with a little wire wheel on it and a little grinding wheel on it mounted to that board. And I want to have my, a couple of different, lug crimping tools and stuff mounted to it. I want to have some stuff mounted and I want a, power strip on there, right? A fused or a breaker protected power strip on that board. So I can take that out and put it on my table whenever I'm getting ready to do a project and have it. And then I can pull it off and stash it when I'm done. I want that set up. There's always needing a freaking wire wheel. Man, you can do so much cool stuff with a wire wheel. It's like the greatest thing ever. Problem is, Dubs use Pepsi can doors. Could use Coca-Cola, right? I know. Running an Orion 2500. Oh, yeah. On 2 SCAR ZVX12s. Thinking about more power. Which amplifier do I recommend? And high output alternator. 370 yellow top. You're lacking on the battery department, but so you're running 2 ZVX12s on 2500. You could be, let's see here, 370 amps. Yeah, you're pretty close to be able to power the 5K. So pick up the Slaps 5K, the Slaps Shock 5K. That would work really well in what you're doing, and you just about making enough power to handle it. You might need to run over to Big Jeff and pick up a Big Jeff lithium battery for that. That would be the right amount of support to get you that extra edge. Because right now, I know what that's an Orion XTR 2500. If it's the XTR, you're not giving it enough power. That amp can make about 6,000 or 7,000 watts, but it's very power hungry. It's a very strong amplifier, but it's also a very hungry amplifier. It runs like a SCAR amplifier. SCARs can make the power, but they take in so much more power to do it. You're not even close to be able to do that. Um, the 5K would be more efficient than that 2500 will. Um, and adding that Big Jeff lithium to it would get you perfectly in the right spot with that 370 amp alternator to be able to make good solid power. That's my recommendation. Patrick says the thing about rear fill is that you're not going for studio sound. Oh, I hit my button. Turned on my bright ass light. You're not going for studio sound. It's more like, yeah, stadium. Yeah. Yep. Frank said, I hated that stadium sound EQ. Recreate the actual sound effect of reverberating in an environment other than the vehicle. Stu, on a cheap thing, look at Kenwood head units and look into their EQ. They have a interesting DSP built into the head units. You can't really control a lot of the elements individually, but it's got like 3 or 4 different sound settings in there. And the first one is actually pretty good. And if you mess with a Kenwood head unit and dig around in the menu, you'll find what I'm talking about. You can get some really interesting sound out of that. I like the Kenwood head units. That's one of the reasons I like them, is because they have a really, really good interface with lots of really useful stuff in it. Pardon me. Troy says I work on the foundation most of the summer days before I came to you help. Glad I did, because we've been doing a lot of work and it's coming together so nice. I agree 100%, man. I'm really enjoying your build. Your build is really cool. Sounds great too. Well, a normal DSP you can do the best you can do is sort of slap back echo, convolution reverb, allows you to mimic any place responding impulse. Yeah, I would say can't wait to see it finish, but a true bass head is never finished. No, it's not. You like that music, huh? That's a good track. Thank you. Played a song during the demo. It was a female talking about how low she can go, how she can go low too. Yeah, that's a good track. Who is that? What's the name of that song? That's one of my tracks. Hang on a second. Let's see if I still have that pulled up. I don't think I do. Oh wait, it's on this browser. Yeah, here we go. Hang tight. Figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're going to figure it out. I think it's in here. No, it's not in here. It's in the other one. Oh, maybe it's in here. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Let's go back over here a minute. Will that work? That did not work. Here we go. All right, you were asking about this track. I don't know if I got the audio though. Let me see. Let me get my little thing up here. This track.
Yeah. You hear about guys in the car audio, you can see subs flexing at the sound off shows. But what you don't see and can't believe is a girl dropping bass, shaking up concrete. I crack the ground with a rumbling sound. I can go toe to toe with the best in town, and just for kicks do my own hair tricks. On the side my ride be floating bricks. Bass drop my ride like it's on hydraulics. Roll your hair out like turbo frolics. I gather up the bass, put it all in bulk, and smash the ground like Incredible Hulk. Don't get it wrong, I'm a real team player. I'm a wide running box, but a meter slayer. Big wall of amps and a wall of subs. Storm of sound, gonna tear shit up. Run your system, not your mouth. Turn it up, let it out. All knobs to the right, hidden mean, hidden tight. Run your system, not your mouth. Turn it up, let it out. Start a fire, cause a scene. Bass heads, low and mean. Keep it clean. Bass heads on the scene. Keep it clean. Bass heads on the scene. Keep it clean. Bass heads on the scene. Playing low, playing loud. Run your system, not your mouth. Power in, power out to keep the bass bumping. Got big alternators to keep the power pumping. I wire tight, I tune precise. Ain't no shortcut, just pay the price. Every fuse clean, every line exact. One wrong move and it all goes black. Knob to the right, gotta keep the bass pumping. Clean and tight, it's jumping, jumping. Meter going high, gonna bust my glass. Gotta ride home with glass in my ass. Voltex steady, queued up track. Bassline heavy, make the pavement crack. Watch that roof, it'll slap your head. I got low so deep, they could wake the dead. Run your system, not your mouth. Turn it up, let it out.
Yeah, next show's gonna be Sunday, of course.
Hidden mean, hidden tight. Run your system, not your mouth. Turn it up, let it out. Start a fire.
That's the track right there. So yeah, all that's on my own. All that's available through any streaming service. This is Amazon. I'm planning on. Comes on. All of them. There's like 23 different services that I'm on. I got a lot of good tracks on there. Got Terminator on there. On this album, I got Back in the Woods, Terminator, Incredible Hulk, one of my favorite demo tracks, Sunset in the Ghetto, Full Send. You know, the shit all hits, man. It's all good music. Like Full Send, play a little bit of Full Send. Just grab any streaming service that you got and type in Car Audio Enthusiast with an S at the end, all one word. You'll find me.
Going full tilt, think I feel a drop coming. Grab the steering wheel, I can feel the beat drumming. Hammer falling hard, sound like the ground breaking. Subs pumping hard, I can see the earth quaking. Hair flying high, someone's got a coat floating. All the car alarms lit and all the horns blowing. Amplifiers hot and the power wires glowing. Slaps going hard, really got the wind flowing. Rolling down the block and I got the trees moving. Bass everywhere, even got the ground grooving. People walk by, I can tell they contemplating. Gotta dance, take a chance, ain't no need for hating. System up, slamming hard, it's the beat I'm dropping. Draw a crowd getting loud, and I ain't stopping. Cops are here, flashing lights, and they ride.
So let's see here.
All knobs to the right, let them meet, win. Big sub, big win. Here we go.
Oh yeah, that's real right there. Once you get that up front bass, it's absolutely a game changer. I mean, like, holy crap, dude. That is a magical moment right there. However, you can get a little sub in the front of your vehicle, and as far as to the front as you can get it, up under the dash or in the floorboard, wherever, as far front as you can get it, it's absolutely a game-changing experience, and you never want to go back to not having that. Got that one, Sunset in the Ghetto. It's a good mellow track. And I write all of this stuff.
On the front step, chillin' with my boy. Just a young brother making some noise. Tryna look tough, looking like a fool. Just wanna make my friends think I'm cool. Dreams bigger than a block we knew. Knew it all, never had a clue. Old boombox, bumping that sound. Mama called when the sun went down.
Sunset
Not
in the
necessarily, man.
ghetto. Sunset in the ghetto.
I love that.
Sunset in the ghetto.
I love that female voice in that spot right
Sunset
there.
in the ghetto.
Y'all wouldn't believe the work I went through to get her to sound like that.
Same crack street.
I ended up had to having to multi-track her voice just for that chorus. I had like 6 different tracks that I worked on to combine them together to get that sound exactly the way I wanted it. We have a JVC at the shop. They have Sound Lift. It's not exactly the same, but yeah, it's probably pretty similar. I don't know exactly how it functions either, Stu. But like I said, it's a really cool effect, man. It's all DSP magic. It's just a preset. It's a DSP preset built into the stereo. But it's doing a lot of the same stuff that you can do with a DSP to get that effect. That's why I said you're missing out if you're not using the DSP. You're leaving so much on the table. Does that guitar not sound wicked cool in there?
Now stand with a pain.
See, my objective is to create music that has combinations of sounds that you don't necessarily hear on a constant basis. Stuff that's got a groove and you can get into it. It's a good song, but it also has a rock solid, really extended, low range bass line underneath it. That's what I'm trying to do. Any experience with Taramp Chipio T1200 or 12,000s? No, zero experience. Sorry. And yes, Corley, my next show will be on Sunday, usually at 7 p.m. It depends on whether life allows it to be at that time or not, but it's usually close to between 7 and 9, somewhere in that range. You're talking about the other song, Floating Bricks. Hell yeah. That's something else. There's not a lot of stuff about girls in car audio, and I actually run with a lot of girls. Our president of our car audio club is a girl, and she's loud as shit. So we have a lot. I compete against girls all the time. I've lost to girls. So, and I mean, these are girls that are building their own shit. They're not like some guy's girlfriend that's just got a car that he built for her that she competes with. Oh, no. These are girls building their own stuff, doing their own work, designing their own box, everything. It's good stuff. I have not seen the styrofoam bricks. I need to get one. I could float a styrofoam brick easily. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's lossless on Spotify. It's also lossless on several other. My favorite streaming services are Amazon and Tidal. Those are my two favorites. We'll go back and put Terminator on.
It can't be bargained with.
This sucker here has got a slammer. This is one of those hair floating
Doesn't
tracks.
feel pity.
I like to have the surprise bass, so I build in a soft section that just comes in hard. That's what this is. That's full hair in the air stuff right there, man. I got some belly rubbing tunes too. Y'all want to hear some of my belly rubbing music? Hang on a second. I got some. This is my SQ tuning stuff. I'll pull up a couple of those. This one's kind of becoming pretty popular. riding track. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel you breathing slow, your heartbeat finding mine. Your fingers trace my skin like you're reading every line. The world fades out to nothing, but your warmth is shining through. I don't need a single light to know I'm lost inside of you. Your whisper hits my soul, softer than the summer rain. Just the shadow of your smile pulls the truth out of my name. I can taste the night between us, every secret, every spark. Girl, your love is something I can see, even in the dark. Hold me close, don't let go.
What do y'all think about that?
Let the night take control. Every heartbeat, every spark, girl, we shine.
Right?
In the dark, your silhouette is speaking every curve, a gentle guide. I hear the stories in your touch and the quiet in your sighs. Your heartbeat paints the darkness.
Not many members left.
Rhythm soft and true.
My love for car audio is the reason why my last SUV was no longer keeping the rain out. Yeah, mine has to be parked in the garage. I have a little slow leak in around my sunroof. I know where it is. I can fix it, but it's a huge pain in the ass, so I don't. I think I'm gonna wind up getting some of that zip tape, that black zip tape that my buddy has, and just zip taping the whole damn sunroof around the edges to keep the water from getting in the seal. But it stays under the carport anyway, so. And it doesn't leak much. I mean, it'll just get a little damp up there around that, up here, around where the rearview mirror would be, up in that area. It gets a little damp up there. And if I push on it and squeeze on it, a drop of water will fall out of there. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit, you know.
I feel the truth between us in the spaces we
Members only jacket. Hell yeah, man. Tell me that shit ain't jamming, guys.
Everything your voice can never reach. You melt into my arms like we've been waiting all our lives. And the darkness turns to heaven when you're tangled up in mine. Every whisper feels like sunrise, though the night is all we see. And the shadows fade away when you're right here touching me. I don't need the light to find you, girl. You branded every part. I can feel the way you love me.
100%, man.
Even in the dark, and in the darkness, girl, I feel you deeper than the light. Every heart.
See, that's some belly rub and stuff. I got several tracks on here that are like that.
You pull me in, and all the noise just falls so far away. In your
Exit out
arms,
the bottom. Yeah, there is no bottom.
the words I never knew
Check
to
this one out.
say.
See if I can get this to play. This is one of my later tracks I just put up. I'm basing all this stuff off like 1980s soul kind of a sound.
I've been thinking about the way you turned away tonight. How your quiet eyes were holding on to something tight. You've been hiding all the storms you're trying not to show.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Reaching for the light, but you won't let me know. I'm standing right here.
Man, I just have a lot of
Don't
years.
shut me out.
listen, I'm gonna tell you, my talent is not in being a musician. I can play guitar, I can play piano, I can play drums, I can play saxophone, I can play bass. I'm not good at anything. I can sing fairly well, but I'm not a good singer. What I'm really good at is writing music and producing and engineering. So using AI, I can create a band and get the tracks to work with. And then I can go through and master and engineer it into something that sounds good. I have that skill. I would say I'm most skilled at being a writer. My second skill set is being an engineer. So that's what I do. I mix and master really well. I have to hand create the bass lines and do a lot of other stuff, but it's mostly mastering and engineering. That's what takes a good mix and makes it an amazing mix. You take a generic set of tracks that you've got from a band and then turn it into an actual song that people want to listen to. That's the magic, and that's what I can do. I can do that. But I don't have a band to work with, so I use an AI band for the same purpose. Basically, a conductor, and a whole lot of other stuff. I don't know. I haven't heard you sing, Stu. Ha! Who is this? Emmett. What's up, man? You dropped the tacos. Appreciate the tacos, Emmett. You're awesome, dude. Thank you. Amazing, sir. I appreciate it very much. Let's see here. John Owen said I'm tone deaf. The term is actually tone deaf. That's okay. I'm just one of those people that'll correct you whenever you use the wrong word. Nothing personal. Just my brain automatically does that. So. No offense intended. See, I listen to this stuff. I listen to this all the time now when I'm just not doing shit. I get it going, dude. You guys are awesome. I sing like an amputee. Can't hold a note, can't carry a tune. I don't sing bad, man. If I had a better recording setup, I could get a better sound. I've sung in a studio before, and I do pretty good. Most people who are qualified to judge whether someone has singing ability those people have told me that I am above average as a singer. Above average. On a good day, maybe a little above that. On a bad day, average. I can belt out a tune pretty good, though. My problem is being able to get that onto a medium. I don't have enough studio to do that effectively. Oh yeah, I have heard you growl. Yeah, that's right. You're not bad, man. I'm not allowed to pull that up though. Not gonna throw you out there like that, Stu. Stu's a bass player. Stu's a bass man. And no matter what he tells you, he can play pretty good. I mean, he could play. I don't know about now, but he get down pretty solid. He's a solid bass player and not a bad singer. If you're into that type of music, if you're not, then it's like, holy crap. Yeah. You'd be surprised to hear what Stu's into music-wise. Just doesn't come out that way until you hear him and you're like, holy shit, he's heavy, man. Yeah, we're going to start calling this place Bass Beard Garage, by the way. Let's take a walk right there.
And remember how to stay.
Ooh.
Let's take a walk. Just you and me.
Don't lie.
Leave all the
You've ate way more than one donut.
where it used to be. Let's take a walk.
Yeah, Stu's definitely a metalhead. Yeah.
Slow down the pace. I wanna see you live in your eyes.
He's definitely a bass man.
Face to face.
He's got good chops, man.
We could wander by the river, watch the ripples drift and shine. Talk about
You guys
the
ever play
things we
Minecraft?
wanted
Anybody on here
back when dreams
familiar
were
with the
yours
game
and
Minecraft?
mine. There's a world
We've had
outside the hustle, filled with moments we
me and
don't
Michaemus
see.
have had some monstrous Minecraft games in
But
the
I
past.
feel them when I'm with you.
That's probably one of the biggest, most fun thing
And you're
ever
walking next
is
to
getting with your
me.
buddies on a Minecraft server and playing Minecraft together.
Let's take a walk,
So much fun. It don't matter what you're doing. It's just a blast.
you and me.
We built some crazy shit. What got me to thinking is when he was talking about the donut. But you have to understand the game to get any joke that I would tell you. But he's done some crazy shit on Minecraft.
Slow down the pace.
All right, Stu, this is for you, man. This one's for you, Stu.
I can hear your heartbeat, even in the dark.
Moonlight dripping on a midnight road. Cold breath rising where the shadows go. I move silent like a whisper on your neck. You take one step back, too late for that. Face up, glisten in the alley's haze. I've walked this hunger for 1,000 days. Every fear you've got, I tasted first. I smell your pulse, I feel your thirst. Red eyes glowing in the dark, I stalk. You hear my footsteps in the gravel walk. Heartbeat thumping like a drum of war. You should have never opened that door. The taste of blood. The taste of blood. The taste of blood. It calls to me. The taste of blood. The taste of blood. You can't outrun what you can't see. Fingers tremble when the night grows still, right before the moment that I choose to kill. Your breath holds tight when my shadow spreads. A chill runs screaming through your bones instead. Claws on stone when I pin you down. One sharp bite and you never make a sound. Your life rushes in like a poison flood. The world turns black with the taste of blood.
You're mine now.
The taste of blood. The taste of blood. The taste of blood. It lives in me. The taste of blood. The taste of blood. Forever
Yeah, baby. What's up? What do you think about that? Michaemus is talking about my rail ride around the world. So in Minecraft, you can make a minecart and a track for the minecart to run on. Back in the day, you used little tricks with other minecarts to create the boost so the minecart could go on its own power. And that was a blast. And I had a minecart that was of God, probably scale wise, maybe 100 miles long, and it went forever in this world and traveled through all these different areas that we built this crazy stuff in. His wife did pixel art. Kathy did pixel art all the time. She would make these big giant pixel things. So you take an image of something, like say it's Mario, for example, and you break it down to where it has the minimum amount of pixels and still looks like Mario. And then you replace the pixels with blocks, colored wool blocks in Minecraft. You could build this big giant thing that was that image. You could do pictures of humans. She made one of me, a picture of me in Minecraft as a thing, and all kinds of shit. So we built all this stuff, and we had this big giant 1-to-1 scale Titanic. We had a 1-to-1 scale Great Pyramid. And it had a roller coaster around it. Then it was hollow, so we had another roller coaster inside the pyramid with a roller coaster with a pyramid inside that, and we had a little roller coaster inside that pyramid, and it was like pyramid. It was absolutely insane. This humongous layout. It was months of building, and I had a mine train or mine ride, like a roller coaster that went through the whole thing. It was tremendous, and it was very cool. We did a lot of cool stuff in Minecraft. Let's see here. Falling behind. Solid tune. Thank you, Stu. Yep, I was serenading Stu. We had tons of fun, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I was going for. Like I said, I'm trying to create a solid list of stuff that is something that everybody likes. Something in here that everybody can get into that gives you good, solid bottom end. Like that song goes hard as hell, man. And it's got some wicked solid bass in the bottom of it. So you can really jam out with your big system and still rock out. That's what I'm trying to do, is create stuff that's not already done. It's different. You know, some rap songs with electric guitar solos on them, and you know, shit like that. Anything that's a little bit odd but blends, and making it work together and making it sound good. Interesting, cool music. That's what I'm down for. Thank you, Mike. Speaking of which, let's see what's going on here. She said, ooh, speaking of what you can't see. Yeah. I found the video. I love it, dude. We can't run from what you can't see. Yeah, I love it. It's a great line. I'm going to send you out a video. I'm going to send you, scientists have figured out a way to observe changes in air pressure sound visually. Uh-huh. And did they use a dish with water in it? Because, yeah, I know that guy. I was doing my best, man. I was doing my best to create a visual representation of what sound does inside of an area. And I don't know if I explained it very well, and I don't know if my experiment was extremely good, but I feel like at least it was a little bit revealing in certain ways. Seeing the effect of ports and the way they work with the airflow of a port works with the rest of the stuff, and all these different, also corner loading. You can see the corner loading really, really good in that experiment. It was a lot of good information in there. I just don't know if I presented it as well as I could have. So it was a quick thing, man. But thank you. So many massive creations, dude. This is my whole entire life. So it's like, for most people, they can do some of this stuff whenever they don't have anything else to do, which is very little time of the day. For me, this is all I do. So therefore, I have all the time. As long as I feel up to it, as long as my creative brain is working, I can do some pretty cool shit. And I appreciate it. I put a lot of effort and a lot of energy into making it good. And T. Corley said, I'm gonna have to be start. I'm gonna have to be start. All right, here we go. I'm gonna have to be start carrying headphones everywhere I go. Seems like every live I'm out somewhere. Yeah. Get some of these guys. I'm gonna tell you, man. Look, I don't know what these things are called. These little dudes in this little package, and I got these. I think someone sent me these to review or something. But the little case, it's got a little green light. The little case charges them, and they just pop right in your ear. They sound great, and they're like 20 or 30 bucks or something. I got them sent to me to review a long time ago, and I've been using them for a long time. Excellent to carry with you because the case charges them, and they're small. Just put them back in the case. You can pull out one and just use one if you're wanting to talk on the phone or whatever. You can put both in, and it'll pair up to both of them, and you can listen to music. They're handy as shit, dude, and they'll slip in your pocket real easy. That's what I recommend. Stu said, "Nah, this is a dual concave mirror set up with an internal and external light sources, mated with some high-speed cameras." Okay, holy shit! Let me go back and read this again. A dual concave mirror, okay, with an internal and external light source. Oh, that's the sound thing. Okay. I'm working. Hey, I'll tell you another way you can see sound. That's better. Probably, I don't know if that's probably the best way, but if you use a transducer on a panel and some salt or some black pepper on the white panel, whatever contrasting color powdery item, you can see the sound waves travel through the panel, and it's very interesting to see that. But it isn't the same thing as what I was doing, what I was illustrating. So that sounds very interesting, though. I have to read into that because I'm trying to visualize what that would do in my head based on what you're saying. It sounds interesting. I get off into metaphysics and into weird shit, so I can go kind of deep into a lot of subjects that you wouldn't expect me to be able to go deep into. I guess you guys have already kind of figured that out about me. I've got a pretty wide range of knowledge. That's my bonus is I got a lot of knowledge in a lot of areas, but I don't have a lot of knowledge in one area. I have a little knowledge in a lot of areas. Y'all have to dig into that. So we can get off into the weeds, man, talking about, light speed. Light speed's a simple concept, right? 186,000 miles per second or 300,000 meters per second. Yeah, I know both of those, but that's not what we're talking about. How do you measure light speed? See, that's the tricky bit. How do you actually measure it? So if you think about this, so you turn on a light, right? Turn on a light. Some guy over here measures it. He knows how far he is away from you, and he measures the thing. But the problem is the measuring device has a sensor and a collector and other things. It has delay built into it. If you measure it yourself, like say you could shoot a light at a mirror and then measure when it comes back to you, right? So you can just measure how long it takes to go to the mirror, bounce back to you, right? And you can just cut that in half and you got light speed. But again, you got errors in your machine. There's nothing, since everything works at slower than light speed, there's no way to accurately measure light speed. We can't actually measure the speed of light because nothing is fast enough to measure that speed accurately. Light has a pressure too. That's another one. If you shine a light on something, you actually put pressure on it. Probably didn't know that, but it does. It's a measurable amount of pressure. So a shadow has less pressure than a lit surface. So if you have a light shining on a wall and someone walks in front of it and creates a shadow on that wall, that shadow can be detected by a pressure sensor. The shadow. Isn't that crazy? Jack of all trades, master of none. Yes, absolutely. I'm almost a master in a couple of them, but they're mostly stuff I don't do anymore. I have a theory that's been partially explained, but not much info out there. I feel like there's an area around any sound source that's basically just chaos before the waves are formed. Absolutely. The turbulence, it's just like turbulence. If you look at a fan, when a fan is moving air, it has turbulence around the edges of the blades that are chaotic and not part of the actual laminar flow of the air. So you're absolutely correct. There would definitely be a lot of turbulence around that. Yes, a photon does have mass. It has to have mass. It has weight. Well, it would have weight in the right environment. Gravity does affect light. This is why we can see certain types of light coming around the sides of planets in certain scenarios. Gravity does affect light, and if gravity affects light, then light does have mass. Yeah, science, man. That's the way my brain works. It don't matter what I apply it to, whether it's car audio or whether it's uh, laminar flow or whether it's uh, anything. My brain just takes off and goes deep. Let's see here. Paper Sly. I so want to call you Paper Sky because I've heard that term before, and I find it really, really cool, the sound of that word, Paper Sky. But we'll leave that alone. Paper Sly says, can running bigger wire help with resistance? Yes. Is there any benefit? Yes. It doesn't make a lot of sense electrically, but you absolutely, if you take 5 foot of 8 gauge wire and you take 5 foot of 0 gauge wire and you test the resistance through both of them, you get less resistance through the larger wire, even with a ohm meter on a voltmeter. Yes, it does make a difference. You'll get less voltage drop over a large cable than you will over a small cable, even if the small cable is capable of handling the amperage you're going to push through it. You're going to get less voltage drop. Now, there's not a tremendous difference in it, but there is a difference. And also, CCA has significantly more voltage drop than oxygen-free copper. So you won't want to run aluminum. Guys that run companies that run aluminum, like in electrical, like in AC current and stuff like that, they expect the voltage drop. It's part of the plan. They plan for that voltage drop over that length of wire, and they're running it because it's very light and they need a lightweight wire. And it'll carry AC electrical systems pretty well because it doesn't have to carry current. It's AC moves back and forth like this. So it doesn't need a really big wire because it's not pushing it from one end to the other. It's just moving back and forth. Okay. Kind of like a wave pool. The thing in the middle is creating waves all across the pool, but it's not moving, right? It's not pushing the water from one end of the pool to the other. It's just jiggling it. Well, that's what AC does. And for AC, you don't need a lot of conductor to carry that because you're not actually moving it. You're just agitating it. Where a DC, on the other hand, is completely different. You need a conductor that can carry all that current because you're moving it from one point to the other constantly. And that flow going through that wire generates heat. And if the conductor's not big enough to carry it, then you heat up the wire. Heating up the wire impedes the electrons from moving through it, and you create more heat, which creates more resistance, which creates more heat, which burns your car. So that's how that works. But as far as voltage drop, yes, the wire makes a difference. Stu says, and I forgot where I was going with my near field theory. That's because you got old man brain. Your brain ain't even that old. You're still young. You're still a young man. Anybody got anything else for me? Or we're going to shut her down here in about 10 minutes unless I get some questions coming in. Because we're rolling on close to 3 hours now. I've had an amazing night. You guys have been a lot of fun. And I got to share some of my music with y'all. Again, look up on any squirrel. Look up on any of the streaming services. I'm on most of them, including Apple and all that stuff. iTunes and all of that stuff. I'm on Tidal. I'm on all of them. So look them up and enjoy the music. And of course, if there's anything you want me to put up there that I don't have up there, that you've heard on my channel at some point, let me know. And if I can, I'll put it up. I'm still working on all that, though. We're building a catalog. to be able to have a good variety of demo music and stuff that you can enjoy. You can use to tune systems. I've got this stuff is centered. The images are centered as much as I can get them. And all the stuff, the positioning of the instruments is something I work hard on when I'm mastering this stuff. So I'm creating all of the belly rubbing tunes that you hear are all engineered as closely as I can get them to work well tuning SQ. They're all a little bit bass heavy, not much, just a little bit. So be sure and let them be a little bit bass heavy when you're tuning, or you'll wind up being a little bit bass shy on other music. Stu, what'd you say? Stu says, oh yeah, I was going to say it would be awesome to see just how much near field region is affected by the amplitude of the speaker. I think that would be, I'll have to think about that one. Everybody drop. Hang on a second. Let me look this up real quick. See if I have it on here. No, that don't work. Let's try this. See if I can get back to the other thingamajigger. Well, that's not it. I don't know if I have it up here, but I'll have to get it up. Full Send, The Night the Werewolf Came. No, it's not up here. I need to put that one up here. That is a good track. You're right. Hey, here's some rocked out stuff, man. Check this shit out. While I go run to the restroom real quick.
Just punched the clock, pulled off the yard. Got 79,000 on the Catskill card. Full tank of fuel, sun's going down. Got the hammer mashed heading out of town. I'll run all night, come morning light. I'll be on the dock waiting my green light. In a few more hours, break will be done. But I won't see sleep till I do the next run. The electric log, dispatch watchdog, wants me to run, rain, snow, and fog. It wants me to speed, don't need sleep. Fail my brake if I try to creep. Gotta drive when I'm tired, to stop when I'm low. Can't park at night, cause parking is a joke. Can't find the time just to stay alive. From dusk to dawn, I'm living in overdrive.
Back in here. The question is, can you mix chemicals like AGM in the front and lithium in the back? Yes, you can, with caveats. You don't want to, if the two batteries have significantly different resting voltages, you only want to do that in the daily driver, because if you let it sit for a while, the lithium will try to charge the AGM into the point to where it drains it down below full, and it's not healthy for that battery to experience that on a constant basis. So, yes, you can do it if you daily drive the vehicle, and if the voltages aren't terribly different. What's up, Stacy Boris, man? Stacy Boris. I still like Paper Sky better. Somebody's got to use that as a name. That's a really cool name. I don't know why I like that idea. Local Subwoofer said, hey, what's going on? Currently have a 2002 Dodge Dakota. 2 runs, 0 gauge from alternator to 36 amp. What? bank of LTO, 36 amp hours, I guess. Bank of LTOs. Still having crazy voltage drops. Is it my alternator? Bad ground. It's your battery. If you got 36 amp hours, you do not have nowhere near enough. I don't know what you're running though. Serial gauge. I don't know what you're running for a amplifier, what your power needs are. That's a thing. You left that piece of information out. You got to use that, man. I got to know what you're trying to power. But odds are, based on what you're saying here, you've got something pretty big. I would say your battery is your weak spot. You probably need at least. You need at least close to 100 amp hours. Okay, so now I see up there in the chat 3,000. All right, so that's 300 amps. And you're running a stock alternator. So yeah, you're gonna need you're probably gonna need about twice as much battery as you've got. Just rough guessing here. Don't know what your alternator's output is, but more battery is better, and that's where your problem is most likely. It could be a bad ground. I would go through and check them all. Check your ground all the way from your alternator to the battery in the back. So you need to make sure you have a good solid ground going from the alternator itself, from the bracket on the alternator, or from the alternator casing to the firewall, and maybe even to the frame, or wherever you're picking up your ground in the back. You need to make sure you have a solid ground going to that, and then from that to the battery, or just run a ground wire all the way back there. That's typically a weak spot. If you're relying on the vehicle's stock grounds to transmit power back there, you're definitely losing a lot of power there. But you're not going to be relying on that alternator to really provide you with the power, because you don't have enough output. At least 150 amp. Okay, so it's yeah. Got the battery from my buddy. Yeah, 4 amp alt battery powering Wolfram 4500. Yeah. So you don't have enough amplifier power or enough alternator power. So you're definitely going to have to make up for that with more battery. What's your voltage like? No voltage below 14. Oh, that was his. I didn't know what your voltage is right now. What are you charging at? Oh, somebody, who is that? Texas. Where's that at? Texas dropped a sticker, $4.99. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I don't know where I'm trying to find you. I lost it. Oh, I'm way behind on the, there he is. So, man, appreciate the tacos, man. Appreciate the tacos a lot. All right, I'll get back to that one. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. Let me back up a little bit. Where do the bigger battery? Let's see. What should I go with? Bigger battery, bank, stock alternator. I'll go with a bigger alternator, AGM batteries. It all depends on everything. I need to know more about what's going on before I can actually answer that question with intelligence. I can tell you the rough number. If your voltage is dropping quickly whenever you're cranking your system up, then you need more battery. If the voltage drops slowly over the course of half a song or a quarter of a song, then you probably need more alternator. But that's just a rough number. Salt gauge on the carpet. I run all my power outside the vehicle now. Good deal. Sand it down. To alternator first. Okay. Stu says try moving with the battery bank instead. Yeah. Texas says was watching my videos on secondary batteries. What's needed for a system and different lithium types, and it was all some really knowledgeable stuff. Thank you. Thank you for posting those. I learned something. Thank you very much for your beautiful words and compliments, my friend, and your donation. The ground for the amps are connected to the battery. Okay. I'm kind of catch up in the side over here. 150 amp. Yeah, that's what size plywood? Okay. What size plywood did we use in the trunk wall in the car? We used 1/2 inch. And the reason was because the existing box, we were building 2 around the sides, was I only had about 1/2 inch of space before I got into the bevel that cut out for the speakers, for the subwoofers. There was a bevel that went in and, a round over. And I only had about 1/2 inch of space before I got into that. So I was limited by that, the design of that box, to 1/2 inch of material. So I ended up using some extra bracing in places where I could. And fortunately, we have a box that has 0 rattles. The car has 0 rattles. All the panels we put in there are nice and stiff. They're not moving. There's no noise coming from anything. We nailed it. I'm very pleased. There was a lot of thinking, talking, standing, staring, and looking. And then there was some luck involved. That's it. And PL3. So you're doing 13.6 to 14.1. That's good. And the vehicle's off. It's around 12.8. That's where you're resting. But after 1.5K RMS, it starts dropping down to 12 volts, which is a no-go. But it's not clipping. Still not ideal. Yeah. That's, you got 2 problems. I mean, you got an alternator problem and you got a battery problem. Both of those are problems. A bigger alternator will help support that. If you can get a bigger alternator or a good high output alternator, that's going to solve your problem. And it'll be a good setup for the future if you go bigger. When you go bigger, because not if, it's when. You're going to need that alternator anyway. But if the alternator is difficult or for whatever reason not the optimum solution, then going with like the Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K version 2 would be a stupidly good overpowered solution for you. That's going to be way more power than you need. And you can turn around and flip that LTO bank on Facebook Marketplace, make some of your money back. That Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K will give you several times the support that you're going to get out of that LTO bank, and will solve your problem for now. And then later on, you could get the alternator. Either one would fix the problem. The battery is going to be the easiest solution, and probably the less expensive one, and depending on what you have available to you. A branded welding wire and bigger I recommend or prefer. FlexWhip. 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 That's the brand I prefer. And because it has the qualities of welding wire, meaning it can take ridiculous amounts of heat without losing its jacket. Ridiculous amounts of abrasion without losing its jacket. And also, the good part is it's soft and flexible like audio wire. That's why I say FlexWhip. If you don't find the FlexWhip cost effective, Tempco is also extremely good, but it is exactly the opposite of FlexWhip. It takes all the punishment and all the abuse, but it's extremely stiff. But you can pick up Tempco for a reasonable price. So it's going maybe a better price. FlexWhip if you need something that's really flexible and noodly, and Tempco if you don't need noodly. Those are the two, TEMCO and FlexWhip. Those are the two that I would push you towards for those two reasons. I think you need to look closely at the circuit you have created and see where the current is coming from. Yeah, listen to him. He's good. He's a good guy to listen to. About to upgrade to 3,500 watt single 12 tune to 27 2.5 cubic foot box, all OFC, access power. Access power? Excess power? Yeah, excess power. You must be using voice to text or something. Group 48 AGM secondary battery, 28 AGM 415 on 4 interior speakers. Okay, 3,500 watts on a single 12. 2 AGM batteries. Okay. So what's the question? Wait, is this something else? This is connected to something I've already read. This can get confusing sometimes for me because I forget who I'm talking to. Okay. All right. Hey, what's up, man? RC Modified. What's up, man? Or Remodified? Is that Remodified? It's RC Modified. Okay. My eyes aren't that good. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Local subwoofer. Yeah. All right. Let's see what he said here. Upgrading to a Titanate Group 48 secondary battery LTO 6.0. Man, I if you just got to have a Titanate, okay, fine. But look at Trunk Thunder Lithium, the 5K version 2. It's literally the same battery as the Titanate internally, except it's got better bus bars and a better casing. If the price is better, whichever one you can get the best price for, do that. Okay. If you're over at Big Jeff and you pick up the Titanate, pick it up in Big Jeff, use my discount code CAE and save some money off of that battery at Big Jeff. But it's the same cells as the Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K. So whichever one's the least expensive, that's the one you should go with. Because they're literally the same internals. The only difference is that the Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K has better bus bars. It has better internal bus bars. Other than that, they're identical, pretty much. Still run the stock alternator. Yeah, if you're still on stock alternator, you need to really boost up your battery. You need a good, healthy lithium bank. Like somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 amp hours. 48 amp hours is like, the Titanate is like a 22 amp hour battery, I think, if I remember correctly. And the 5K is actually 48 amp hours. So it's got more storage, but there's similar support. Okay, so it's time for me to call it a day. All right, Stu. Keep it between the ditches. Great show as always, Gary. Thank you, man. Appreciate you for hanging out and offering up your knowledge to my other people. What's he saying here? We're talking to a chat of top level experts. Don't forget it. I did my best, and everybody else did their best, and we have a lot of good people. I ain't gonna dump on nobody, man. Everybody in here's got something they're bringing to the party. You know, you may only carry the watermelon, but you know, ain't nobody putting baby in a corner. With upgrading my system to 80 amp hour LTO and 400 amp MechMan alt. With upgrading my system to 80 amp hours LTO and a 400 amp. That's a good upgrade, if that's the question you're asked. Yes. That would be a solid upgrade. But I don't really recommend going with the 400 amp hour alt, a 400 amp alt, because usually that's 400 amps at like 2,000 RPMs. Look and find the one that makes the most power at idle. That's the alternator you generally want. That's the one that's going to serve you the best and you're going to realistically use the most. Find the alternator that gives you the most amp hours, I keep saying that. The alternator that gives you the most amperage output at like 600 RPM. That's the one you want to get. Ultimately, that's going to help you more than anything. Any more questions? Hell, I can't be playing that. That's probably copyrighted. Any more questions, guys? If not, we're going to get the duck out of here. You guys have a great night.
Yeah. Yeah. Out here banging up and down the street, slamming it to the ground. Big subwoofers are getting loud. You can feel the booming sound. Getting ready to go. Got it shined up for the show. Hours charging, amps are amping, gonna let the woofers blow. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. We got more at home. Another one bites the dust. Eyes are glowing and the amps smoking. Subs are cherry red. Let me keep jamming, gotta keep the bass fan. Gonna go hard till they're dead. Full power, gotta let it go. 20 hertz in the floating air. Sparks are flying, voice cords are frying, and the smoke is in the air. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. Hey, we got more at home. Another one bites the dust.